we need more time in order to talk about it. And we have a specific order for getting into this activity tonight. I'm going to open it. Let's start asking people about getting into. Certainly, I feel extremely tired. I don't know why I didn't do so much, but I need to be ready with all of this material specifically. Even though, hi. Hi, Fabiola. Fabiola, need at least your camera and audio. If you don't have it, impossible for working, I mean. Or maybe sending me chats, I don't know. Hi, Fabiola. Maybe writing. Well, let's give a few minutes. I think she's with trouble with connection. She's in trouble, so let's wait. Wait a little bit. Don't think it's a problem. But, well, time is running, so Viola, please, if you have any trouble, tell me. Texting by WhatsApp or maybe here, and let's try to solve it. I need to know what's going on. I also need to know who's getting into the workshop. Hi, Fabiola. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. Hi, Fabiola. Can you hear me? Can you listen to me?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's talk from the class of yesterday. Okay. Tell me all the doubts you have about it. Or something you would like to check, or something you would like to talk about.
I would like to talk about roots.
The word roots.
Yes.
Okay, let me share a screen for starting again with that part. Can you see my screen?
Now, yes.
Okay. Introduction to the medical terminology. Well, the word root is the containing basic meaning of the term. I mean, when we talk about words, the word root, it's the principal one that is the origin of the term, of the word instead. And in medicine, of course, we have the same, and our properly vocabulary is so extensive, I mean. And we have this kind of words that in Spanish we are learning by an instinct because it's the same way of talking that we have, right? I mean, we learn by reading, by practicing, by using it in the daily practice and learning. But in the American universities, even England universities of medicine specifically, they have this topic of study, how words are constructed and how it's easier with this method to get the meaning of the word. Knowing that the root, the principal part of the term is deducted, we can know almost the correct meaning. For example, a word cannot stand alone. With suffix or prefix, we know what is going on, certainly. For example, with the one of the easiest example is the gastro. This one, gastro, because we know that this is the medical term and this is the normal term, the common way of expression, right? The stomach. But knowing that the medical term is gastro, then we can make all of the changes for having our combinations, of course, and our medical specific terms, right? That's why we don't say that it cannot be a standalone, because adding a vowel, we start the combinations, for example, O, gastro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the rules of creating and combining form by adding vowel apply when a suffix beginning with consonant is added to a word root. I mean, if the suffix gets, let me check the suffixes. Check with, I don't know, with gastroenteritis, for example. With a consonant, of course, the suffix is added. When we have the vowel as added, well, we have to make a combination in a grammar normal way of writing. Is that okay? Do you understand that part?
Yes.
Okay. When a prefix is added, it's always placed at the beginning of the word. For example, let's check the prefixes. For example, no, that's probably not working. Micro, gastro, a prefix for gastro, which one could be? Help me, please.
Gastrologic.
Gastro, no, that's a suffix.
Okay. Gastro.
Or another word. Okay, let's looking for. Yeah, this is the example I found was prenatal, for example, the prenatal term. When we get the prefix, of course, it's asking us about the time and events, the moment that everything is happening. We have this kind of prefixes describing direction, quantity, size, and amount. That's the most common way of using the prefixes. AB, away from, negative, absent, for example. I'm locked. I have today too much movement and with some mixed ideas in Spanish too. But okay. Dextrocardia, for example. We have it in the right side, and we know that the dextro is giving us the position, the direction of the heart. Even the left side, it's in the right side, right?
Yes.
That's the function of the prefixes, just showing us this kind of words, knowing the situation. Macroadenoma, for example, macroglossa, or microlysis, for example, micro tumor, micro anything, so small, right? And if we didn't know the correct way of the word root, that in this case is nat, because nat is the meaning of birth, we couldn't prepare this kind of prefix and suffix, the suffix all pertaining to Yeah, right. These graphs are the most common ones for studying and easiest to get the terms, like a scramble. Then always place at the beginning. Well, we have to check and take a view which suffixes and prefixes are the most common in use in studies. That's why the charts were shown yesterday. This kind of prefixes and suffixes are used almost all the time into the career. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Is that okay with the word root?
Yes. Thank you.
Something you would like to talk about?
Maybe is there any place or any book where I can
Yes,
learn more about?
you asked me about it, and I found in grammar.
Mhm.
Well, while your partners are getting into the class, I'm going to send you. I have some interesting ones, and I'm going to send you a book that it's nice. It has lots of grammar keys and ways of writing. I think it's gonna help you so much for
Okay.
for the purpose of this class. But specifically medical English, for example, physiology, pathology, something like that. That is the book you're looking for, or is that okay, the book I'm telling you?
Excuse me?
Okay. You were asking me a book for this kind of course, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, okay, I think it's close. Yeah. I'll try to send you it right now because we are here. Yeah. The one I found, as I was telling you, is a specific one for improving grammar.
Okay.
And it's interesting. I saw it and I said, okay. And it explains too how to write, for example, a formal report to your superior and to your equal colleague, I mean. And that's
Okay.
what I liked about it, because not all the books make this.
Mm-hmm.
Any other question? Something you would like to check now?
No?
Okay. Do you have a medical dictionary in English?
No.
Okay, I'm going to send you it too, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And English to Spanish, I have one dictionary and I like it. It's so easy. Not always the correct translation, but it helps a lot for the correct way of writing and grammar rules. That is one. Give me a second, I'm looking for the other book I was telling you. Let me check. From yesterday, the class was too long and I tried. Yes. Second, I'm looking for the other book I was telling you. Okay, where's my WhatsApp? Yeah. The second one says medical English, just, okay?
Okay.
Did you receive the two files? Dictionary of Health. Wow. Wait, I don't know what's going on. English to Spanish medical dictionary. Did you receive that? Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Dictionary of health related terms. Check it. That's nice. I like it.
Okay.
It's going to help you a lot for finding the correct way of writing, I mean.
Okay.
And that's okay. Something I'd like to ask you. Yesterday when I was telling you, all the group, I mean, that we should start writing down clinical reports, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no as a complete report with all the rules, because we didn't get into that part of the class. But I'd like you to choose one pathology from this chart. And can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, choose one of them, anyone you would like to write about. And I'm going to send you the topics, the rules of this writing, what I'm looking for you to do as in this report. And about it, we're going to have the correct idea. Choose one.
Scoliosis.
Perfect. I'm going to write down your name for remembering the one you choose, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Fabiola. Stop sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, please, Fabi, fill the pool for today.
Okay.
And we finish. Don't forget to study for the vocabulary that I was showing you yesterday. And please, any question you have, write me down if you consider it's necessarily, okay? There's no problem for me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Fabi, take care. Have a nice night.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
See you tomorrow. Bye. Hi, Belkin.
Hi.
How are you, my friend? Everything's okay?
Yeah, everything is okay. Today I have a very hard day.
Yes, I think for everyone was hard because today was a terrible day for me. That's why I needed to start at 8.
Today I have to attend a lot of patients.
Yes. Today's not been an easy day.
Yeah.
So let's go to the workshop. Anything you would like to check, to review, something that you would like to practice?
Well, I have a doubt about the PC.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is the number. Like number 5.
The 5? This
Uh-huh.
one, suffixes?
No.
No? Which one? I'm sorry.
4.
The 4th one.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with this. The suffix is usually, but not always, that complement of the term, the medical term that indicates a procedure, condition, disorder, or disease. One of these 4 ways is going to be shown with a suffix, okay? When we go to this chart, I found these grammar rules that teach us that we have suffixes as noun endings for getting the root word as a noun, for example, cranium, for understanding that we are talking about something specific, okay? Meaning abnormal condition, gastrosis, we know that it's not, or or maybe another example. I'm with mixed ideas now, but okay. This abnormal condition are going to be answered by all of these suffixes. Just if you see an ion suffix or a word, a medical term finishing with this suffix, you immediately think on abnormal conditions. And you can have that way of deduction. It's going to help you to get the correct meaning without confusion. The meaning pertaining to, for example, AC, cardiac, that's one of the most common examples. This one shows you that the complement of the term is going to belong to the heart system, to the anything related to the heart. Cardiac surgery, for example, cardiac tumor, cardiac disease, I don't know, anything that is going to happen just in the heart because it pertains to the heart.
For example, the
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. The audio is not okay.
sorry. By example, one disease in the pancreas.
Or for example, pancreatic, here we have the IC, right?
Yeah.
Pancreatic disease. A disease that belongs to the pancreas.
Pancreas.
For example, pulmonary disease, and a disease that belongs to the pulmonary system.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is a key for having the possible suffixes, for having the correct idea and interpretation of a medical term. It's also, if these parts could be translated, because none of them have a translation into Spanish, will help you to get the possibility to get a correct deduction of the medical term without having a dictionary. And you are going to have a biggest idea what about we are talking about with this. The next one is related to pathology. It's easier, I think, because we practice it during the career. Of course, it's easy to, but this one is a little confusing because they're just vowels or maybe a small combination of letters, but it helps us to understand. For example, if I send you in the test a word that you certainly didn't memorize or is new for you, but it could happen, you can check the suffix and the prefix and you have a huge idea what is going on. It's going to help you as a key.
I need more information about this.
Yes, for example, this is all for renal. When we talk about kidneys, we have a renal condition, for example. Renal injury, acute renal injury. It's an acute situation that belongs to the kidney. Ren is in Latin, right? So we have to take it in count that they speak in Latin and even in English, and we can get mad. It's not as easy as we expect. Yes. Now, is that okay?
This time I prefer when some people say when I speak English, everything ends in Asian, well, craniation.
So creative, that's great. Say hello from me, thanks. For example, lumbago, we have the lumbago, one of the most common situations related to pain. It's a situation from the lumbar column, okay? This is abnormal condition, the lumbar column. That's great. It's going to help us a lot. These charts, I got them by checking in the net. I was looking for pictures and I found this treasure and I said, of course, I'm going to use these charts. It's here for yours. It's going to help you a lot. Okay. Any other question, maybe, Wilkin?
No.
Okay. From bones, joints, or muscles, everything's okay?
No, everything's okay.
Okay, that's the advantage when we get into the career. We are doctors, so we have almost the same language, the same ideas about all the situations we must control, right?
Yeah.
And that's the best. About symptoms, this long list I was showing you yesterday. This
No.
is the small chart that the book that I'm supposed to use is presented. And I said, oh my God, it's not enough. And I was looking for more. And I found too much, I think. But that's the objective, to get vocabulary, right? It's going to help you a lot.
Yes. I think I have to study a lot because tomorrow I have a workshop.
Tomorrow is going to be a long session too, and homework is not going to be as easy. I found an application that helps me to make crosswords. I think your homework is going to be with that application specifically. And
Okay.
that's okay, it helps a lot. So Belkin, from this chart, you remember pathologies. One topic of the homework is writing down a medical report.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not going to ask about the rules and the ways of writing because we didn't take that topics yet, okay? But we can start practicing. How about our expression is working on? So choose anyone you would like to work on. And then I'm going to write down for having a memory idea.
Synovitis.
Synovitis? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Start writing it. I'm going to send the topic of the topic is the lines of the rules maybe to the chat by finishing this workshop. But you can write down, even it's a clinical case, so you got a patient with synovitis, you can explain the symptoms, maybe the signs you find about it, not treatment, because now it's not, at least for now, it's not the objective, but if you want to include it, that's okay for me.
Okay.
Okay, we have, let me see the videos, and from the muscles, just one from here too, please. Anyone you would like. And here we don't have all of them.
Spasmodic.
Which one? Spasmodic torticollis? No. Yes?
Yeah.
Spasmodic torticollis?
Spasmodic.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you.
No, I'm reading.
Okay, okay.
I don't know how is the meaning of cramp.
For example, when you go from a hot to a cold place, your muscles get into a hard and deep contraction and it hurts.
Yeah.
Yes, that's cramps.
I got it.
Could be so painful, and of course, sometimes it doesn't have any real beginning, so it really needs treatment, right?
Yeah.
But pregnancy cramps are the worst when during pregnancy because you can do anything with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have 3 babies, and with the last one, the cramps were the worst situations I ever had. I don't desire it to anybody. Okay.
But the cramp is okay. I will just cramp.
Cramps. Are you sure? Because there's not too much information.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no problem. let's work with it and start writing down a report, how a patient comes, explains you the symptoms, try to make a clinical report, you know how to do it.
Yes.
And that's okay. I'm going to tell you, I think it's gonna be for Friday night. No, that's not too much time. For Saturday night, I think. That would be better. For having enough time on Sunday and Monday, giving the responses. Because now we have lots of material to work on. And
Yeah.
I'm planning to get a workshop for preparing to the final test. That's important, I think. Okay, did you fill the pool?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. We
Eh,
didn't forget today. Yes, yeah. We usually forget it.
uh, this everything happens.
But that's okay. So any questions, something about the class from yesterday?
Well, any questions? I think if you may recommend some books for reading more about this.
Okay, let me look for someone in English because I have one that is in grammar, medical grammar English. It's not for pathologists, but I'm looking for, I'm going to send you, okay?
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay, Belkin, so see you tomorrow. Try
Bye,
to
see you tomorrow.
relax. To
Bye.
relax for me too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Ruth.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? How do you feel?
I'm fine, thank you. Well, today I gonna present my thesis.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes.
Everything was okay, I think. You're so smart.
Well, in 2 hours, I gonna take a Zoom call with my
Okay.
all my classmates.
Okay, congratulations. I know you got
Thank
it.
you.
You are one of the best ones. Congrats, my dear Ruth.
Thank you.
Happy for you. Okay, from yesterday, what would you like to talk about? Questions, maybe something that's not so clear?
Maybe the prefixes. Prefixes?
The prefixes.
The prefixes.
Okay, perfect. Let me go to the slide. Wow. So we must remember by this one that the prefix usually, but not always, indicates location, time, number, or status. I mean with this, that of course prefixes are that words that are at the beginning of the word. For example, the pre. Okay, prefixes
Okay.
is added at the beginning of the word and influence the meaning of the term. Of course, it helps us to change the meaning and have an idea on what is going on, what is happening with this. For example, prenatal, time and events before birth. Perinatal, time and events surrounding birth. And postnatal, time and events after birth. Of course, all of them are talking about the time situation, that idea we have.
Okay.
Location and that. This chart is showing us prefixes about direction, quantity, size, and amount. AB, up, away from, for example, abnormal, right? Normal is the root word, and the up, it's something that it's not normal, right? And toward to in direction of an example with add. I didn't think about examples. I should write down some of them. Add, adjunct, add, advanced,
Advantage.
advantage could be. That's the better situation, that is, it's giving a plus from the original one, right? The dextro and the sinistro, or right, the right and the left, I mean, dextrocardia, for example.
Okay.
Okay, sinister or sinistro to the left side could be related for organ position, I mean. It would help in that way.
Okay.
The X outside, external way, external situation, and anything that is out. External vowel. Okay, for the accent, for example. Into, not without, with the in. Okay.
Okay.
Internal organs that are inside the body, I mean. That internal injury, that internal, I don't know, that internal object or something was introduced by an abnormal way, so something that's going to help you for the meaning. Macro and micro, of course, of size. Macroadenoma, microlitus, for example, microlitus. Mega and megalo, something like this, so big, similar to macro. Megaloblastoma, for example. Oliguria, oligamnios. Okay.
Yeah.
The pre and the post that we were checking in this one. With these prefixes, for example, if during the test saying you some words that are difficult in meaning, are a little confusing, and you can notice that it's a prefix, is going to help you to get an idea about the meaning and have a correct interpretation of the term. And that's the way I decided to show in class these grammar rules of writing, because all of them are showing you how to deduct these meanings and have no mistakes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that okay with the prefixes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
From
better.
this contrasting, I mean, we have more example, the abnormal, the addiction. We have another example here.
Of addiction.
Yes, the addiction. You can see the prefix and then the root word, the diction, right? Add plus diction, addiction. The dysfunctional, eupnia, of course, U for good, for normal, and abnormal. So look at the difference, right?
Yes.
Hyper and hypo, inter and intra, sub and super or supra. Those ones, of course, are going to give us a better idea. In Spanish, we don't study this as a topic as we did in English, because we are in practicing, and of course, Spanish language is more difficult than English. And that's why we are doing it by reading, and we have many different grammar rules that in English we don't have to practice on, right? In English, we go to the topic. In Spanish, we can go for many ways to the same topic, and that's why we don't consider necessary to study this kind of prefixes and suffixes.
The suffix.
Okay. Usually from this is, for example, the plural forms. In Spanish, is so easy.
Only add S at the end.
Yes, and that's all. But in English, we have to change an A for E, or we have to keep the same word, and we have to remember which one is regular, which one is irregular, and it's not the same. That's the objective of this, the introduction from yesterday. And I said, I'm going to do that because it's necessary to know. When I was having this class at the university, I didn't have this explanation, and it was harder to understand. And my English teacher was not a doctor. Teacher, I'm sorry, but what's the meaning of that one and a specific term? And he said, I don't know, you're the doctor. Go and study. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm here for grammar rules and practicing. Bye. I said, okay, thank you. That's all. Any other question, Ruth?
And no, I understand all the things, the terms of bones and muscles,
Yes,
and and the joint.
yes, that's the most common way of starting with the musculoskeletal system.
Mhm.
That's the base of almost everything. About symptoms, did you have enough time for checking the list considering you were on your thesis today?
No,
You
I
have
don't check
enough.
too
Okay,
much. I only I take note to the class,
perfect.
and I have an idea of the things that I don't understand too much.
Yeah,
Uh, the prefixes is
uh-huh.
the only thing that I don't think I don't to pay attention in that point, but now
Okay.
yes.
No, don't worry, that's okay. We are here for solving all these doubts.
Okay, but
Uh,
the other words I understand, and I try to start it tomorrow
perfect.
and look some words that I think I have problem to pronounce.
Okay, perfect. We can work on it. There is no problem.
Okay.
So Ruth, yesterday I was telling you in class, all the group, I mean, for choosing pathologies for starting writing down clinical reports, right?
Mhm. Yes.
From this chart, please choose one. That's okay if you choose the same as your classmates. That's, for example, Belkin chose synovitis and Fabiola chose scoliosis. You can choose the one you like. There's no problem for me for this time. For the next medical report, I'm going to give you specific situations.
Okay. Osteoalgia.
Ostealgia, okay. Ostealgia, yes. And let me go to the muscles chart. One there, and okay, from here, please choose one. For example, Belkin choose cramp.
Mm-hmm. Functions. Atrophy.
Atrophy, perfect. So the situation is this: you are a doctor, of course, you receive a patient that is going on with all the symptoms with this situation.
Okay.
You have to make the report in the way you know how to make it, and your clinical findings, the description of the symptoms. If you can make the clinical findings, perfect. If don't, there's no problem because we're going to start with this part tomorrow.
Okay. Symptoms.
And about atrophy, well, okay. For some of these situations, I have extra material, for example, X-rays or something like that for having a better explanation.
Okay.
For atrophy, I think I don't have enough material. I'll try to get some more details for helping you to write that clinical report, okay?
Okay. The clinical report is only thing that the
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 homework,
mean of the yes is the mean of the pathology and thing.
the pathology, well, we are starting with this practice in medical report cases,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay. You start writing it in the way you know how to do it. Of course, the correct ways, grammar tips, and then are going to be shown during this course, and we are going to correct it. You are going to compare the first one with the last one, and you might see the difference.
Okay.
And for the rest of the homework, I'm preparing crosswords, for example, with applications. And I'm going to send you by the WhatsApp group the moment it's the time, I mean. Okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Please, we don't forget the pool. Can you see
Uh,
the pool? Is that okay? Or may I send a new
uh,
one?
no. Oh, let me.
Okay, let me send it again.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, perfect. I'll expect you.
Okay.
Okay. That's the importance of being doctor at this time. Thank you for the poll. Because we have a classmate that is a teacher, a university teacher, university professor.
Oh.
I don't know how I am going to evaluate her progress, because it's not the same teaching these topics to a doctor than a no doctor student. And we
Yes.
also have a classmate that is in the first year of career. She is without the medical basics. And I said, oh my God, I'm running mad. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I
Yes,
hope
I
she
hear.
not gets confused.
Yes, some words that we understand in hospital or in the clinic, and she don't have that that opportunity to learn about it.
Yes, and that's a very difficult situation, at least for me. So how can I get it? Okay, let's try to make our best effort
Yes.
and go ahead. Oh, like,
Yeah,
it's nice to see
you
you.
can do it.
Yes, do it. And if there's a trouble, tell me. I'm going to help you the best way I can.
Yes.
Have lots of doctors here for asking. Don't be shy.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
even if she can ask for any question about it, or maybe
Yes.
if some terms or pathologies
Yes.
in the books are maybe some confused.
Yes. Confusing for her at this moment, because
Mhm.
first year, how she get enough time? I'm asking it. How she gets enough time for taking the course, making more homework, more activities? I said, you are crazy, lady. But it's your decision. But that's okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Patience. That's all we need.
Yes.
Okay, Ruth, let me desire you the best for
Thank
this
you.
thesis defense from today. I'm sure you get on the top, and
Thank you.
we are going to celebrate. Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow with a class. Oh, with a long-term class. So that's okay. That's
Yes.
okay. I'm preparing the class, and I don't know how we are going to talk about all that topics, because we are going to talk about respiratory system, cardiovascular system, urinary system, and digestive, gastrointestinal
All
system.
the internal organs.
All of the internal organs, and it's a lot of topics. It's a lot of information, and
Yes.
I'm trying to get more clinical situations, but I don't know, it's a very, very long situation that I have to solve. I don't know how I'm going to prepare homework for all of that topics. There are too much.
Yes.
That's why,
For some system organs are different.
yes,
The symptoms, the signs are totally
every,
different.
yes. I was looking for more, more interesting books, I mean, because the one that the institution gave me to me, it's so easy, so superficial. I mean, it's not, for example, if I were a student, I would say that it's not what I'm expecting for this kind of course. And I said, of course not, we have to improve it. And I've been looking for and reorganizing many things in order to get a logical order, and then of course have a correct idea.
Maybe an anatomy book in English.
Yes, I have one. I tried to send it to you. I have to look it on the computer, but the anatomy book, it's too much information for short time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for grammar way of expression
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's it's a good way of studying. And I mean, gold standards situations that we usually see, for example, tuberculosis. It's a very common disease and we must talk about it.
Yes.
Yes, it's important. And I'm going to ask if one workshop we can convert it into a pharmaco class, because there is no into the overview of the course, and I think it's important.
Yes, well, I work in pharmacological things.
Yes, and you know, it's so important to know the difference between so many terms.
Yes, because in medical school, we don't have any type of classes. I
Yeah.
learn in my work. They put me in a certificate or in class to OPH
Yeah.
to learn a biology pharmac.
Yeah.
Because in class, I don't give me that meanings or words to understand all the topic about pharmacological things that gave me in I like, oh my God, I study medicine, but I know not anything about pharmacological.
Yes. So let's try to get that point. But
Yes.
we're going to do it. I know I'm going to get the permission. Or an extra day, something. I'm going to get the solution.
Yes, yes, you can.
So see you tomorrow, Ruth.
You have me support, okay? You can.
Yes, we must. We can do it. Never
Yes,
give up. Don't forget it.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Hi, Johan.
Hello.
Hi, are you there? I can't see you. I need
Yeah,
to watch you by camera.
I'm
Are you
driving.
okay? You're driving. Don't worry. That's okay. If you're driving, it's okay for me if we get in the turn it off camera. Okay, let's talk about the class from yesterday. Any doubt? Something you would like to practice?
Actually, I think that I have to study more because it was a really interesting class yesterday. We talked about things that I know that I have to know and I have to learn because
Yeah.
it's basic. It's something that you can use. You have to use every single day when you are in a consult.
Yes, we have to practice lots and lots. We have not enough time for doing it, right? And during the career, we don't have the opportunity for doing it. I understand it perfectly.
Yeah, but I understood everything. Maybe I had to study more. I had to review and check again.
Okay, that's okay for me. So yesterday I was telling to the group. Yes.
I'm gonna try to go out and everything because it's something that I want to review.
Okay. Check the slides and the questions you have. You can send me message by WhatsApp by my personal line. Okay, my personal number. That's okay. Of course, I'm here for helping everybody. And I know yesterday we talked about lots of situations, grammar tips, and a different way of checking the word construction. I mean, with the word root, prefixes, suffixes, exceptions, grammar topics that sometimes we don't expect, but that are really important in this kind of new language, I mean.
Yeah, and in my case, I think that it's my fault because I had to practice. I mean, I had to study more because you
Yeah.
cannot have that if you don't practice, if you don't
Yes.
study.
Okay, if you don't check, it's so hard. Yesterday, talking about bonds, for
Yeah.
example, we were talking about lots of specific situations, right? I showed you a chart in muscles and bones.
Something that I want to do, if you want, of course, right now, is like try to be a patient and you try to be a doctor just to see how I have to try to treat a patient.
Okay, that's okay for me.
And I don't know, we can.
Yes, we can practice that. Yes, we can practice that kind of situation. And that's okay. I'm the doctor, you're my patient. So let's start. Hi, sir. What's going on?
Okay, let me think. Oh, just give me a second.
Okay, don't
Just
worry.
give me a second.
Take your time. That's okay for me.
Gracias. Okay, I'm ready. Okay.
Okay, hi, sir. What's going on?
I'm Joan, and I have some problems today. I feel like I don't know where's my camera.
I'm sorry, you're out of sound. The microphone is turned off.
I'm sorry. I have a headache, stomach ache, fever. I don't know what is happening. Diarrhea.
Okay, you have
Yesterday.
Stomach ache, fever from yesterday, no? Okay. During the day, what time around it started? I mean, morning, afternoon, night. Do you have an idea about the time, the hours, the total hours you are with that situations?
Actually, it's every week.
Okay, the whole week. Okay, can you describe your headache? It is pulling, pushing, it's beating, it is burning. Do you have a difficulty in vision? I don't know. Maybe hearing sounds.
It's beating my headache, and my vision is okay.
Okay, no visual problems, okay? No lights, no foggy.
No, nothing.
Okay, perfect. About your stomach ache, how is it? Is it pushing, burning, punching?
Burning.
Burning pain, okay. About fever, it comes and goes. It's up, it's going down. Did you take medication for controlling fever?
Yes, I took some pills.
Do you remember the name of the pills?
Acetaminophen.
Okay, perfect. The paracetamol.
And that's it. And it helped me because right now I feel a little better.
Okay, do you have more symptoms? I mean, nausea, vomiting, maybe? Okay, your microphone. Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah, I have I was vomiting.
Okay, how many times you were vomiting?
I am vomiting like 3 times yesterday.
Today?
And today 2 times.
Okay, these vomits were with food or were just fluids? I mean, the acids from the stomach.
I think it was food.
With food. So you eat and then you were vomiting immediately, or do you take more time?
It take like more time, 1 hour, 2 hours.
Okay, 1 or 2 hours for vomiting, right? There were nausea before vomiting.
Excuse me?
Nauseous maybe before vomiting. I mean,
Yeah.
first nausea and then the vomiting.
Yeah. First nauseous and then vomiting.
Okay. You, while vomiting, I'm sorry for Getting around. You told me that was food. That food was in big pieces or were starting the digestive process?
I think it started the jet step process.
Okay, they were most creamy, were starting the destroying process of the acids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Diarrhea, maybe?
Yeah, diarrhea too, like 3 times
3 times
today.
2. Okay, this diarrhea is clear, is dark, is extremely liquid.
It's dark.
Dark, okay. Okay.
Actually, no,
Uh-huh.
like dark, like black. It's like brown.
Okay, the stools are
It's the
brown,
normal color.
dark brown, I mean.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is that okay telling dark brown? But of course they're not black. No, not blackened ones,
No.
but they're not lightened, I mean. Not white, not yellow, I mean.
No black.
Okay, perfect. The diarrhea you said 3 times. Those 3 times were for a long time, or were with colleagues, or were just the diarrhea and then you feel relief?
First colics and then a diarrhea. Like a minutes later, diarrhea.
Perfect. And now at this moment, are you feeling pain in the abdominal parts, I mean, in the abdomen? Or are without pain because you were taking acetaminophen?
Yeah, I have some pain in my stomach, and in my, I think it's in my belly.
In your belly, specifically in your belly button, right?
Mhm.
Okay. If we ask you about giving a punctuation, a value of the pain from 0 to 10, which one would you use for? Considering that 0 is out of pain and 10 is the worst pain you felt in your life.
I think it's like a 5.
A 5 and just the middle. Okay. Okay. In the way we are talking, I can consider you are with a gastroenteritis, but I need to complete this idea with some lab tests. So we have to make it, okay?
Okay.
In that case, let me make the physical examination. Let's complete our evaluation with this. And after that, we are going to take the tests, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, Johan, do you have any signs of dehydration?
Dehydration? No, I think maybe a little because I feel like I feel like lazy, like without
You
strength.
feel
No.
numbness. You feel numbness, okay? You feel
Numbness.
okay. Yes, tiredness with lethargy, fatigue, lassitude. That's the meaning of loss of energy, right?
Tiredness.
Malaise, maybe.
Malaise. Yeah.
Yes, the general feeling
Yeah.
of being
Yeah.
unwell.
Malaise and tiredness.
Yes. Of course, no anorexia because you tell me you're eating and then having the colics and then vomiting and then the diarrhea, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's an gastroenteritis at this moment. There's without dehydration. Yeah. And then with the lab test, we are going to confirm it and start the treatment.
Okay.
It's important you stay here until we check the results and have a conclusion of this case, okay? Don't go home, let's wait and expect the best. Hello, Johan.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that okay? We are going to make this kind of exercise by writing, and that's great.
Nice. I like it. I think we can do it in the next or in the
Yes, we must do it. Knowing that that's an important way of working with you, because you are just the first one you're asking for doing this exercise. I think I can prepare this activity just for you because you are interested in, and that's great for me.
Yeah, maybe in later, then like in 2 or 3 weeks, I can be the doctor, and
Yeah.
you can be the patient.
Yes, that's
Because
okay.
it's so
Maybe the
helpful
next
for me.
workshop we can make it. That's okay.
Yeah, I
And
had to practice a little more.
in the same order, we need to start writing down, practicing the writing down clinical reports, okay?
Yeah.
And please, I need you to choose one pathology from the skeletal system. The slide is on the screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Let me see.
Please choose anyone, the one you like. For example, Belkin chose synovitis, Fabiola scoliosis, root ostealgia. Choose the one you would like.
Osteitis.
Osteitis, perfect.
I mean osteomyelitis.
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 What I
okay?
have to do?
Okay.
What do I have?
Give me a second, please. Now choose one from this second chart from the muscular system, muscle pathology, please. Okay.
Tendinitis.
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 Perfect. So this is the situation. We have to act. I mean, it's like we were doing now. You receive a patient that tells you the symptoms. You look for some signs, and then you can make your
Am I be the doctor?
I mean, if you want to write down the dialogue, that's perfect for me. But you have to complete the situation writing down a clinical report. I mean, patient Johan came to visit me, complaining of symptoms, and during my clinical examination, I found signs, and my conclusion as a first diagnosis is this ones, and I'd like to practice or like to ask for this lab test, for example.
And the treatment too.
Yes, if you consider the treatment could be added, that's perfect for me. But it's
and
not objective.
it's only writing. It is
yes,
only writing, and then I'm gonna send you to you.
Yes, but all the topics I'm asking for an example, I'm going to send you by the WhatsApp later, please, while finishing the workshop, because I want to check.
Okay. And when do I have to send it?
Until Saturday night.
Until Saturday night. Okay.
Yes, we're having Sunday for checking it.
It could be with like con a mano. I don't know how to say it.
Handwriting.
Handwriting or
yes.
With computer.
There is no problem for me. If you make handwriting, it's better because you practice, and that's the way your brain gets better. The way of writing, grammar, topics, and all. Yes, handwriting. I think it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so please, Johan, we need to make the pool. Can you see the pool now?
No.
No. Okay, let me share it again. And please fill it because it's your assistance.
Okay, got it. Already.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Johan. And practice, check the slides. And if you have doubts about vocabulary meanings or something that it's calling attention, you can send me a message by WhatsApp, okay? That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any
bye
question you have? I think that's okay for this moment, right?
Okay, no, everything is okay. I think in the next workshop we can do the same.
Yes.
the same thing.
Yes. Also, let me prepare these activities for you because of course you're interested in practicing by talking. Your classmates are interested talking by checking slides or having an idea of reading, not by making dialogues.
Dialogues. roles. Maybe. Yeah, we can do it.
Yes,
It-
we can continue. That's perfect for me. So don't worry. Well, in order, Claudia, maybe Claudia, your classmate, is working tonight. I think that she might not get into the class. Well, let's wait for
Yeah.
a few minutes. If you want, you can stay.
Okay, I'm gonna stay.
Yes.
Um,
Did you were watching the X-rays that I sent yesterday?
I prefer practicing.
Okay.
Learning by doing.
Perfect. So let's practice. I can be the patient if you want.
The patient. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna try to do my best.
You're going to do it.
Okay.
You are prepared. You are a
Welcome.
doctor. Don't worry. Hi,
Miss,
doctor. Hi.
how are you
I'm
today?
here. I feel terrible, doctor. I
Okay.
feel lots of pain. Hi, doctor.
Go.
Hi, can
I
you listen
disconnected
to
for
me?
a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I was telling you, doc, I feel lots of pain. All my body is hurting.
All your body.
Yes.
Really? Since when?
I've been for around 1 week ago with a stressful situation. And after that, I started with pain first in my neck, and it goes through all my body during this whole week. Today, I can't stand.
Can you repeat it? The first part? I couldn't hear I had a little problem with my
With connection, okay. A week ago, I had a stressful situation. I had so many troubles, and I don't know what to do. But after that situation, that discussion, I started, with neck pain, so hard neck pain. My neck was so rigid, so hard, and I couldn't even touch it. And after that, the pain goes through all of my back and now to my legs and arms. I can't move. I cannot stand my clothing.
Okay. Do you have any
Hi.
disease or condition? Do you have?
Well, actually, I have the diagnosis that I'm suffering the chronic pain syndrome that is not very in a conclusion with which pathology is done, and the rheumatologist is with treatment, but all the pills I'm taking are not helping me.
Oh, really? Maybe you need to go to a church and this can heal you.
Okay, let me share my screen. Even though, doctor,
Actually, I didn't know. Excuse me, miss. I didn't know what was the disease. I think it's stress, right? Stress or anxiety. But I didn't know if you were talking about fibromyalgia or something like that.
That's the point. You got fibromyalgia. The fibromyalgia syndrome is the situation now we are talking about. That's great. You have the idea. You are focused. Yeah. That's the best.
The best. I'm trying. I think that if I'm in another country and if I have an emergency, a person has an emergency, and I'm in that place, maybe I can help because I can understand English. Thank God for that. But I cannot understand symptoms or specifics. But I can help because I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try
you are
to
doing well.
understand.
You found the fibromyalgia syndrome, and believe in me when I tell you that none of the or not all the full doctors get this diagnosis because it's a situation that it's undertaken. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
actually, I didn't know since like 1 month ago because I was studying that in some pages that I follow, and I saw that syndrome, and I was studying it, and I was surprised. I was curious because I remember that when I was in like
Yeah,
my fourth year, but
but
I
that's
didn't
perfect.
remember actually.
Yes, you have the idea. When I was teaching at the hospital, when I was working at last, we had, of course, so many patients, elderly people with fibromyalgia syndrome, and that was a non-treated syndrome by emergencies, but all of the patients with this situation just were going for talking and having analgesics. That's all. And maybe I don't know, a relaxing drug or something for sleeping. But the most important part of this is talking therapy. Let your patient tell you exactly what it feels, and you're going to relieve the 50% of the pain.
Really, I didn't know.
Yes.
I that part.
That
I knew that it was like
most of the
psychological.
it's not psychological, just it's physical too, because we have studies about it. Actually, I was telling you at the
Yeah,
beginning,
it's
I'm a
both, I
member
think.
of the FEDALAT, of the Latin American group of treating and studying pain. And
Really?
fibromyalgia has specific topics for choosing specific points of evaluation, the trigger points that, of course, you were checking as you were telling me. And if you find five or more points like this, that's fibromyalgia. There's no lab tests that can get the correct diagnosis.
Oh,
If you
really?
ask for blood test, it doesn't work. It's
It
not
doesn't
for
work.
this situation.
Okay.
Yes. So Johan, we take 2 times. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 times. Nice. Better for me.
Yes, that's practice. And the best is that you get the diagnosis when the way we were talking. And I like it because you are preparing for the field. You're prepared. You are a warrior.
Thank God for that.
Yes. So let's prepare some dialogues for the next workshop, and
Okay.
then we are going to
I
talk about
think
them.
I have to go. See you.
See
Okay,
you
nice,
tomorrow.
nice,
Tomorrow we
nice.
have a
Perfect.
long
Bye bye.
class. So
See you
have
tomorrow
a nice
if God
night.
allows.
See you tomorrow. Hi, Agar.
Hi, good night.
Hi, how are you, Agar? How's been your day?
It was okay.
Perfect. But everything that was easy to make, right?
Sorry?
Everything that was easy and possible to make, I mean.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, from yesterday, doubt, something you would like about?
I have some questions in the presentation that I wrote it here in the page 17. Can we see that?
The
Please?
17? Or
17.
17. Okay, let me go back. Okay. This one's talking about symptoms.
Okay.
Or not?
Yes, no.
Or this one? Or this one?
Yes, and the part is the part when we have some of color. I don't know where this.
This one?
No.
Or this, maybe this one.
Yes,
It's a picture from
that
a
part.
book. Perfect.
Yes,
Tell
the
me.
second, and when we talk about Malays,
Lies.
Malays,
Yes.
the fourth conversation, the third, sorry, I've been feeling of
Feeling
color
of color.
for today.
Fifth
Okay.
pallor.
I have I was looking at the dictionary and it have two meanings, and
Okay.
I don't know if I can use in the two ways.
Tell me in Spanish the meanings you found. One is pallor, the most common.
No,
And the
no
other
se
one
le
is
ve pálido y
yes.
no se le ve bien. Esas
Yes.
dos.
With the second one, no se le ve bien, there is not a way of translating because it's a way of common English, I mean, of the social one with no a good translation. It's possible because it's like a ganja, a modismo.
The correct
The pallor
will be pálido.
in this context of color remembers the pallor. Being without color, without that light of a saint person, I mean, without that energy that we show for everybody when we're, for example, we're happy.
Okay.
Okay, give me a second, please. Hi, Claudia. Oops. Claudia, are you there? Agar, let me ask you, if that's okay, Claudia can stay here in this time, or how could we make this?
I can wait, teacher, if you want. I was with a patient.
Yes, that's the situation, Claudia. In order we have the chronogram with time, if you could wait, would be until the end, if everybody comes into the workshop. Or maybe if Agar is okay, we can stay together and then we can talk, Claudia, later, I mean. It depends on you, Agar. For me, there's no problem working with both of you, but Claudia is working now. That's why it's a little difficult for her.
It's no problem, teacher. I can continue with her too.
Yes, is that okay, Claudia? Do you want to stay now, or do you want to come back at the end?
I can stay.
Okay. So Agar was asking for the meaning of feeling of color. Feeling of color is pálido, yeah, pallor, or maybe the losing that bright, that energy that we show when we feel great, when we are sane, when we are without any sickness, any illness.
Okay.
Okay, Agar, now you got the idea?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Perfect.
I have one more.
Perfect.
I didn't find when I was sharing hot or cold spells.
Well, where is
18.
it? I'm sorry.
18. Page 18.
Okay.
The next one.
This one?
Yes.
Where is it?
Down. Cardiopulmonary symptom.
Hot or cold spells? Sweat.
Sweat.
Okay, the sweat. When you go running, for example, run, and you feel your skin humid. You see humid because it's your
okay.
Your skin gets wet, and you said, okay, I'm running, I need to continue because I'm losing weight by running, and this water shows me, of course, that is the sweat. Hot or cold spells, it's the sweating that can be during hot or during fever, or maybe in cold by tremor or any other situation. Okay.
Yes, I know. I understand now.
Yes, that spells means that without activity, you have that swelling. That sweating, I mean.
Without activity.
Without activity. For example, in malaria, for example, you are in bed with fever, full of hot, and then you start losing water, right? You start sweating a lot until getting the bed full of water and everything, right? That is the hot or cold spells. There are periods of sweating, periods of not sweating.
Okay. Okay, teacher, thank you. And the last one, please.
Well,
19.
okay. From here.
Yes. The part when it says neck pain. But we have neck.
Neck pain here.
Yes,
Well,
but
neck pain, when you move and your neck is awful, it's hurting.
there
Sometimes
is a part.
pain is one of the most common situations for going to a medical consult. Yes, there's a lot of situations for having neck pain. For example, muscle contraction, bad movement, I don't know, torticollis. I mean, different kind of situations.
We have in the page 20 neck back stiffness, neck cracks, and neck and back pain. And
Okay,
I didn't understand the difference between
the neck cracks. For example, when you sometimes you move your neck or your back, you try to use specific movements for getting out the corvas. Have you ever done that when someone takes you and crack your back?
Yes.
Those cracks is because it says the column is getting so rigid and you free that pressure. The cracks is the sound of that. These cracks, neck cracks, lumbar cracks, dorsal cracks, they're showing us that you are under lots of stress and your back is getting rigid. And with a specific movement, you can free that pressure. That's all. The stiffness, the joint stiffness, it's the same. When you try to move and your joint sounds crack, 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 slow and hard. It's the difficult of moving because there's pain, or maybe it's if there's no pain, you feel a difference of moving. It's not as easy as you are in a normal situation.
Okay, I know.
Is that okay? I understand. Okay, you got the idea?
Yes, you teacher. Yes. Thank you. I think that's all. It's a lot of vocabulary, but
from this
yes.
From these charts are okay. Claudia, are them okay for you? Everything you would like to ask?
I have a question. What does it mean, feeling in a fog or something like that?
Foggy. Feeling in the fog. Is that in this one?
The last
the last slide?
Yes.
This, oh no.
That one. No.
This one?
Yes.
Yes.
Feeling like in a fog.
Okay, feel like in a fog. For example, have you ever gone to Los Yungas?
Where?
To Los Yungas, here in La Paz. We have a place that we have go throughout to the mountains until getting next to the clouds. We are into the clouds crossing in car. That difficult of vision, like being into cloud, is a foggy vision. For example, weather that is so humid and we have a cloud in front of us that don't let us to watch the way that the road, that's a fog. When we have foggy vision or mentally foggy, it's when patient says, I cannot get concentrated, I cannot get ideas, I feel like a foggy situation in my head and I cannot do anything because I cannot understand the road where I'm doing my best, my stuff.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. I feel like in a fog, I feel like floating without that capability of walking, of doing something specific. Do you get the idea? Okay. Any other question, maybe?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, from you, Agar, maybe? Here, my dancers. I love them. Yeah.
Nothing. I don't have a question.
Okay, perfect. So, but yesterday in class, I was telling you to the whole group we're going to start writing down, okay? And I need you to choose one situation from this chart, please, of the skeletal system, a pathology, please. The topic lines, the rules of writing, I'm going to send you by finishing the workshop to the group. But I need to know who is going to write about any situation, any pathological situation, I mean.
Osteoarthritis, please.
Okay, Claudia, osteoarthritis.
Me, Agar.
Yes. And Claudia, would you like to choose, please? I need one, just one. It's not so.
Lumbar.
I'm sorry, lumbalgia? Lumbago.
Lumbar.
Perfect. Okay, this is one, and we are going to go to the muscle chart. Please choose one more each one. That's okay if you want to choose the same as your classmates chose. Okay, for example, Johan chose tendinitis. If you want to write down a clinical report about it, that's okay for me.
Atonic.
Atonic, okay. And Agar, did you got your bursitis? ¿Dónde estás?
The first one.
I lost it. I'm lost.
It's the
Fasciitis.
first of fasting.
This
here.
one? Fasciitis.
Yes, fasciitis.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, as I was telling you, the topics we are going to, well, I'm going to send you by the group while finishing the workshop. And it's gonna be ready on Saturday night, please, okay? We have a few days for doing it.
Okay.
The rest of the homework, like crosswords, scramble words, I mean, most vocabulary, I'm going to set it with more time because tomorrow we have a long-term class. We're going to talk about the respiratory system, cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal system. I mean, almost all the internal organs. There's a lot of work, okay? Okay, now can you see the pool, the diary pool we have to send for assistance? Okay, now, yes, thank you. Please fill it, please. Okay, okay. Perfect. So let's see you tomorrow. Is that okay for me? And if you have some more questions about something from the class of yesterday, you can send me a message. That's okay, right?
Okay, thank
you. See you tomorrow.
Okay, see you, Claudia Negar. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Ariana. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, how do you feel today?
Good. I'm great today. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, today was a hard day, but we can continue. Yes, we have to keep going, right?
Yes.
Okay, from yesterday, any question maybe?
Not questions. The class was very clear, but something caught my attention. It was you put a list of the symptoms.
Yeah.
I was reviewing that and caught my attention some terms that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And they were easy. They were easy, but I didn't.
Yes. When you check them, you said, "Oh my God," right? You said, "I know it." Yes. The medicine school is great. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Sometimes you see a word in English and you say, "Oh, okay, this sounds like something you know."
Yes.
But for example, it was a symptom called drowsiness.
Drowsiness, yeah.
Drowsiness, and it was like, It sounded like someone drowning, like in water, but it wasn't. It was someone who's feeling sleepy,
Yes.
and that was
When
like,
you are tired and don't sleep and don't wake up. Yeah.
yes, and
And
it
you
was
said,
an easy term, but I didn't know.
yes, but that's perfect. That's the way we are trying to improve our vocabulary. And that's why I decided to send that long list, because the ones that I have in the principal book of this course, it's too extremely short. I mean, just 5 symptoms. I said, no, make a joke. Let's make it serious. Yeah.
Yes, yesterday class was very, very informative.
Yes, very hard to,
Yes,
because there were a different way of talking about the construction of words with suffixes, prefixes, the word root, the correct grammar parts with the double R, for example.
yes, I didn't know
And
that either.
those ideas are extremely helpful by doing a test, or even talking with colleagues that are native from an English speaking way, right?
Yes. Oh, the quick poll
So
just
that's
appeared.
great.
Do I have to do it now?
You have the pool now? No, we
Yes.
can wait until the ending.
Okay.
So let me
I close
close
it.
it, and I'm going to reopen it. Yes, don't worry. We're going to send it at the end.
Okay.
Okay, you are sure? Yeah. Okay, yesterday I was telling everybody that we are going to start writing clinical reports, right? Medical
Right.
situations in the proper way, I mean. So please choose one pathology of the skeletal system, just one for this
Mm,
opportunity, then are going to be more high.
okay. The
That's okay if you repeat with one of your classmates. Of course, you're not going to write the same one.
okay. Spina bifida.
Anyone?
Yes, the spina bifida in the spinal column.
Okay. Spinal bifida, perfect. Okay, and then choose one more from this chart, the muscular system, okay?
Okay.
When I was making these charts, I said, in my brain is all of this information, my God. And I'm
The
supposed to identify and treat.
yes, the
Hypotonia?
hypotonia. Yes.
Hypotonia, okay, perfect. So the lines, the rules, the topic lines of this homework I'm going to send you while finishing the whole workshop, I mean. And it's gonna be ready on Saturday night, please, no more.
Okay.
Because I need time for checking and getting all the correct way of correcting, right?
Okay.
So I need time. It's not an easy job.
Yes, it's a lot of
Yeah.
chemical reports.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's like being in the hospital. We don't have any we can't choose about the amount of job of reading and writing, right?
Yes.
So that's the life we were choosing. And we have to be glad of this. Example, the stress fracture. I had a nurse who had this situation. My bed, and I what to you. work as a team.
Here I am. I'm so sorry. My internet connection was failing. I didn't hear the last part.
Yes, connection is not all of the pathologies you are choosing. I'm going to send you radiographies for practicing, and that's okay. That's a good way for doing it.
Yes.
In the way it's possible, I'm going to send them, and if there's no possibility, or because I can get the correct image, well, patience. I'm going to find a solution about it. In this clinical report, try to use as many symptoms and signs you find. And if you have the opportunity of using abbreviations, do it.
Oh, okay.
Do it. That's very about, for example, the C/O, the complaining of. I'm expecting to watch it.
Okay,
But if there's no, okay, patience.
Okay, I'll try to review more abbreviations.
Yes, patience, you are doing well. That's okay. You're one of the best at this moment. Continue like this.
Thank you.
And keep on practicing. This is just reading and practicing and making and writing, and without having any trouble about making mistakes. That's why we are here.
Okay, yeah, sometimes I'm a little scared, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, don't worry. You're a doctor. You are on the way. You are now at the serious running way, right? So the best part is we know what we are talking about. You are not a medical student at this moment. You have the huge idea in Spanish, but while translating, you see it, and it's not as hard as it looked like. But we have to get more vocabulary. In the order, I want to send you some documentation papers, I don't know, readings for practicing, and that's the only way. For example,
really
this course, for example, is, I do it on a similar one, but it was 2 years of career, during the career when I was a medical student. The medical English in Cuba takes 2 years for making in the correct way. That's why I was telling you, I don't know how to prepare sometimes the material because it's too much information for a short time.
Yeah.
I have to look for the the unforgettable things, and then send you homework. I have no choice.
No, but homework is important. We need to practice.
Yes, and it's helping a lot. For example, clinical reports, I don't know, studies, investigation in English could be confusing at the beginning. But if you get the correct way of interpretation, prefixes, suffixes, and that kind of topics that we were watching yesterday in a very, very so simple site, you can do it. You can work on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. For example, a little part of homework is the clinical report I'm asking for. But we are going to make crosswords, scramble words, and many things that I'm preparing with application. It's not just one homework. We have to try to get enough time to get organized about doing it, because we have to practice. Yes. And I'm looking also, for the best option.
Yeah, also the classes you gave like one semester in one night yesterday.
Yes. I think I'm losing my hair again because I don't know how to prepare it. And I said, oh my God, how can I do it? And I wanted to talk yesterday about one lesson more, but there was not enough time. And I said, no. We said 1 hour, and we'll try to get that time, because of course you have own stuff to make it. And then
but it's your time. I think it's more important because you gave us classes after work, right?
Yeah, after work. When I come home from work, I have to take care of my babies. I have two little babies.
How old are
Uh,
they?
One is 1 year and 8 months, and the second one has 9 months. They are close
Oh,
to
they
each
are
other.
so little.
Yeah, so yeah, my two babies, they are so demanding on time.
Of course, they're babies.
Yes, the youngest one is the 8-month baby. It's a high demand baby. I mean, she needs to be carry on. She cries if I'm not with her, just with her, and she wants to go and watch everything, touch everything. And I said, well, oh my God, why me? And I said,
You
okay,
chose it.
yes. I said, I like it. I'm happy with this. And my babies, when are watching me doing this, try to play with the computer.
Oh, of
And
course
I
they
said,
can.
okay, that's the best. They're
Yeah.
going to be babies just a little period of time, so I want to be with them. Now I decided not to be in night shifts because I want to stay
Oh,
with them. They expect for me for
right.
sleeping. And when they sleep,
Oh.
I wake up for working.
I know, no, but you're right. You need to spend time with them. They're not gonna
Yes,
be babies for too long.
yes, but patience. Okay, I'm sending you the pool, please. Yes, can you see
Okay.
it?
Yes.
Okay. Please fill it, and this is assistance. That's great.
Okay. I
Okay, thank you
finished.
so much. And
Okay.
keep on reading. I'm going to send you the homework. As I told you, finishing the workshop, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Have a great
Okay, bye,
night.
Arena. Have a nice night. See
Bye.
you tomorrow. Hi, John Harold. Oops, John Harold. Hi, my
Hello,
friend.
teacher.
How are
Hello.
you? How's been your
I'm
day?
great. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. How was
Okay.
yours?
Oh, well, hard day too, but fine, I think. We made almost all the stuff we were planning. Okay, tell me from yesterday, doubts, any commentary, anything you would like to talk about?
I mean, I was reviewing the presentation and I understand. I understand. I would say I understand everything, but it's a lot of vocabulary
Yes,
and a lot of material. With muscles, bones, joints,
yes,
everything. But I think everything was clear.
yeah.
Maybe about the suffix, prefix. I
Suffix.
think,
Okay,
yeah.
let's check that part, okay? I think that would be great. In order, I was telling you yesterday to the class, I mean, when we are in the university, in the medical school, we don't get this information for deduction, okay, for constructing the correct medical terminology. That's why it's important to know how these words are made of. I mean, the word root, the way of combining the suffix and the prefix. The word root is the most important part because it's the basic meaning of the term. We have a stomach is the common way of talking about the gastrointestinal system, right? But gastro, this word is the root, the word root of the stomach, right? And it's the same with all of the specialties, with all of the organs, with all of the systems. In the combining form, we just the word root with vowel adding at the end, for example, the O gastro, right?
Yeah.
Gastroenteritis, gastrologist, gastroenterology, gastroenteritis. It's like the key for forming new words, okay? Gastralgia, not A, but just, not O, but an A, right?
So the combining form is only a letter, right?
Only one letter. The most common is a vowel, O-A-I, okay, and E. And this combining form opens the door for having an idea for which the word root is going to be at the end of the sentence, of the idea, okay?
Okay.
The suffix, of course, at the end, that indicates generally, not always, procedure, condition, disorder, or disease. One of these four situations, okay? These fourth ones are the most common, That's why I considered it for writing down and showing you. About prefix usually indicates location, time, number, status, and of course has more meanings, but the most common ones are location, time, number, and status. Let's start with the word root. We have these two charts that are explaining us the grammar way of writing down and understanding it. For example, our root can understand alone. Of course, you are not going to continue with gaster all the time with the word root as a topic. It's impossible because you cannot make a sentence with just this term. You need to combine with the combining form with the vowel, and then add a suffix or a prefix, right? Or maybe both if you really need them.
Yeah.
And depending on the prefix and the suffix, you got the meaning, and you have that way of deduction, the medical term. The rules for creating combining form by adding vowel apply when a suffix beginning with a consonant is added to a word root. Here we have gaster, it's a consonant, we add the vowel. That's all. And when a prefix is added, it always plays at the beginning. Of course, it's a prefix. Word roots can combining forms indicating color. These ones just indicate us the color of the situation, cyan or cyano with cyanosis. Of course, we know that this pallor and blue color in skin, right? Or decoloration on the skin, right?
Yeah.
Eryth, of course, is red because erythrocytes, yeah? Leuc, the white blood cells, we know that it's something white. Leukemia, right? Leukocytosis. We know what line or what group, a specific group of cells we are talking about because of the word root. The melano, it's about a condition of deposits of black pigment, right? Melanoma, melanosis. Polio, the viral infection of the gray matter of the spinal cord, right? That specific infection that of course we know, right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, about these charts of suffixes, most of your classmates were asking for about it. We have the suffixes as noun endings, for example. These 5 ones are showing us that we can convert a medical term into a noun combining by this, right? We have here the 5 most common ones. I didn't find any word root without these ones that are converting into noun. Cranium plus cranium, right? Suffixes mean abnormal condition, something that it's not okay. Agoisis, iasis, ionism, osis. Gaster, the one we're checking, plus osis, gastrosis. Something is wrong with our stomach, right?
Yes.
And suffixes to pertaining to, we have more ones because it's common, right? Cardi, heart, adding AC. The cardiac, something belongs to cardiac, to the heart, okay? Cardiac surgery, a surgery of the heart,
Okay. Yeah.
okay? And we can find all of these suffixes just. We don't have more in English, but sometimes it could happen. For example, in England, we find another rule, another suffix. We have to be prepared for having the idea. This is a very soft C about this grammar point. And of course, I think with the rest of the suffixes, we don't have lots of problem because we were checking it during the career in the medical school.
Yeah. Which actually are like the
Generalities.
same, like in Spanish, right?
Yes, most of them are the same. This is for translating, but this one is for meaning and changing the context of the word root. While keeping in mind this idea, when we study at the medical school in Spanish in our native countries, we get this vocabulary, but without having these grammar rules. That's why sometimes it gets a little confusion, right? It's indeed into the plan of studies, but in the American schools, England schools, you have this explanation for having the opportunity of practicing deduction. That's why it's important to know it. And in order, there is not our maternal language. We are not foreigners from that countries. It's not that easy for us to understand this than in Spanish, because in Spanish we have many, many ways of changing and translating, right? It's so different. Yeah. English goes to the point, goes to the topic without any trouble. But in Spanish, we can talk and talk and talk and say the same situation in 5 or 7 ways, right? So we have more prefixes and suffixes than in English. That's why it's important for me to show you these charts for understanding how we are going to work on. Of course, suffixes related to procedures. We know all of them. And double R, this is grammar. Sometimes I got the opportunity, and almost I made a mistake about writing down without the double R, considering that it was a mistake. But of course, it's not a mistake. It's a grammar rule for protecting the vowel combination, right?
Yeah.
So we have to consider it. We have to take in account that these suffixes rash, rafi, ria, and rexis, no matter the word root, we have to work it with double R. Writing down in a correcting way, that's the best of us. Okay?
Yeah.
About prefixes, of course, that prefix that goes at the beginning of the word, influencing the meaning of the term. Prenatal, nat is the word's root, the birth. Al, pertaining to, is the suffix, and we have pre, the beginning, that's going to be for the suffix, is showing us that it's before birth, pertaining to situation. Someone is going to be into a new family because it's born.
Yeah.
It's easy. Prenatal, yeah. The same with perinatal and postnatal. There are just for time in this example. But going to another chart, we can see that we have more prefixes than we were describing at the beginning, right? The AB, AD, dextro, and sinistro for the left side. This is the word's root, for example, is from Latin, the sinistro, the sinister. But that's why Americans get complaining of, because they use Latin and English. And that's a mess in some cases. But we have to get the idea that if we sinistro, we are talking about the left side, right?
Yeah.
The X and in, the outside and inside, macro and migo, pre and post, right? Those ones are situations, are words that we, of course, in Spanish know, but in English we have to learn. And the advantage is that we are doctors, so we have the huge idea what we are talking about. It's not as difficult as it could look like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
The contrasting prefixes, we know the abnormal, the abnormal way, the AB, from the EU, from the normal way, ab and EU, right?
Yeah.
The AD, toward into direction of the addiction. I'm going to this way and it's a dependence and I cannot change it. Addiction as subdiction, we have many ways of combining it, but addiction is one of the most common. Dysfunctional, eupnia, abnormal and dysfunctional, of course, are not the same, but the opposite is the eupnia. Hyper and hypo, inter and intra, sub and super or supra, right? And of course, we know it. And the grammar tip, that it's very, very important. The guidelines of using unusual vocabulary, mean from singular to plural. In
That
English,
one is the most confusing part, right?
yes,
Because plural is kind of like in Spanish when we talk a little bit about plural, we normally use es, right?
yes, that's
And-
easy in Spanish, but in English, we have to take in count that if we have some examples, but of course there are lots of words that have this same situation, right? While we study social English, we see that these exceptions. For example, mouse, the plural is mice, right?
Yeah.
When you see one sheep, you have two sheep, right? So these exceptions we have to take in count. You cannot say one blood or two bloods. Of course, it's wrong because blood, you cannot count that amount. You cannot touch it and say, okay, I have one red blood cell, and that's wrong. You have to say a drop of blood, few drops of blood, right? That kind of expressions are the ones we are going to keep on practicing. And of course, these suffixes, these meanings, these exceptions, we have to keep in mind and continue practicing, right? Okay, until there was the grammar introduction, yeah, because it's so important for us to know it. Okay, is that okay, Harold, with the topics we were talking about?
Yeah, that's fine, teacher.
Okay, Harold, please, I need you to fill the pool.
Yep.
And with Catherine,
Already.
we're going to. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher. See you
Okay,
tomorrow.
no, Harold, give me a second, please.
Okay.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Catherine, please, taking a little minute from your time. I need you both to choose some pathologies from the chart. Give me a second, please, for opening it. Okay, yesterday I was telling you, as a group, we are going to work as, writing clinical reports. And I need you to choose which one you are working on, right?
Yes.
Yes, please, John Harold, choose one, and Catherine, choose one too. And I'm going to take it in count because it's evaluation, and then I need to know which one you are working on.
From this chart, right?
There's just one from this chart.
Okay. So I'm gonna choose.
Is that okay if you want to repeat? For example, scoliosis is going to be done by Fabiola, but if you want to do scoliosis too, that's great for me. There's no problem. Of course, you're not going to write the same.
I'm gonna choose herniated disc.
Perfect. Catherine, can you choose one? Catherine? Catherine? Well, she's not there. No more time.
Hi, teacher.
Hi. Please, Catherine, choose one pathology from this chart. And then,
Mm,
I'm going to write down, I need to know which one you are working on. The topic lines I'm going to send by finishing just one.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay, rheumatoid arthritis. Wow, my championship. Okay.
I can leave now, right? Or
Give me a second. You have to choose one pathology more, please. I don't know what's going on with my mouse. From the muscular system, we have a similar chart. Please choose one. John Harold and Catherine, choose one.
okay. I'm gonna choose from the whole chart or from only from the first row.
The whole chart.
Okay. I'm gonna choose I don't know, myalgia.
Myalgia, okay. And you, Claudia, Catherine?
So,
Just one, just one. Don't
okay.
worry. Of course, we are going to start practicing. I'm sorry, John Harold, where is myalgia?
On the second row.
Here, muscle disorder. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, John. See you tomorrow.
Okay. See you tomorrow. Oh, the homework is for what day? For tomorrow?
Saturday night. Because this is just one. We are going to have some more homework. Crosswords and scramble words.
Okay, teacher. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, Kat, choose one pathology, please.
Okay.
Don't be shy, just one.
Yeah.
The way you would like.
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
Perfect.
Fatigue.
I lost it.
Pronunciation. Fatigue.
Fatigue. That's okay.
Fatigue. Okay.
Okay, perfect, Catherine. So from the class of yesterday, any question you have, something you would like to talk about?
Yeah. Bones.
Okay, bones, tell me. Tell me the situation. Well, let's go to the bones, to my dancers. Okay, here we are.
Okay, yeah.
Is that okay here or it's another slide?
I'm here. Okay.
Okay,
here
perfect.
Okay. The related convenience and bonds. Related convenience bonds form. Could you give me example of words in related complaining forms?
Combining forms, related combining forms.
Okay, combining forms, okay. Yeah.
Okay, os, osi, oste, and ost.
For example, that will be bonesos?
No. These ones are the word root.
Example,
these ones are the roots. I mean, we were talking yesterday that we have a medical term that is the principal meaning of the word, I mean, right? And this is the magenta letters, yeah, the magenta words are the word root. With these ones, we can make combinations. For example, osteotomy, talking about this one specifically, osteotomy. Osteoclast. Ossification.
Okay. Yeah.
Osseum, for example.
Osteum.
Yes, this is this is the word root. Myel is the spinal cord, of course. Myelodysplasia, for example. Right? These magenta ones is the word root that is helping us to understand how it's going to be explained the medical term, I mean.
Por ejemplo, bone disease, ¿no?
I'm sorry.
Es, for example, bone disease, ¿no?
Yes, for bones, the word root of bone is os. In Spanish, óseo, right?
Yeah.
Ossification is for this one, ossificación. Of course, we have in Spanish OS, and when we get the OS, we know we are talking about bones. In English, we have OSS, double S, and then we can combine this word root with the combining word that are vowels, and vowels with suffixes, prefixes, and many more. Yeah.
For example, this is in joints, arthritis rheumatoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arthro are referring to joints.
Arthro.
And arthrosis, for example.
Arthrosis.
With I, arthritis. Same.
Pronunciation, arthritis.
Arthritis.
Okay.
Both of them are recognized as the correct pronunciation, but the most common is arthritis.
Arthritis, yeah. Thank you.
Yes, for example, for bursa, we know that burs is our word root that is talking us. We are talking about the bursa in articulations, I mean, in joints. The cushions, right? The cushions of the articulations for protecting our movements.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, from here now you understand it. Is that okay?
Okay, teacher. One question.
Yes, tell me.
Era sobre constructing prefixes.
Yeah, that's about suffixes and prefixes.
What do you mean by los contracting prefixes?
Okay, to the slide here, right, with the prefixes.
Yeah, one
here. No, here, this one. Or this
one more. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
In order of talking about it, we have to, I'm sorry, we have to understand that there are contrasting that the opposite one from the other for each part, right? The opposite prefixes, the most common I'm showing you here. For example, AB, it's away from, it's abnormal, something that it's not normal, it's away from the normal specific situation. And it's similar to this, DYS. This functional is something not functional. The opposite of these two words are EU, eupnea, for example. It's normal, it's easy, it's something that we make constantly, right? And could be considered as opposite to AD, addiction, added, adduction. I mean, when you get with the AD, is something that is in a strongly way keeping you by its side. For example, drug addiction, of course, it's not a correct development, but it shows you that you are toward or a strong dependence or a drug or substance, right? This AD shows you that something is going into a direction. On the other side is AB, that is away from that situation. It's like going to two different ways. Hyper from hypo, hypertension, hypotension, we know the difference. Inter, that is between or among, and intra, that is inside, right? Internship. interstitial, internal, I don't know, internal closing ideas, for example, intramuscular, intracranial, right? The sub means under or below, the super or supra, that is upside, right? Is that okay, the idea? Because we have some more, but those ones are the most common.
Okay. Is there more constructing prefixes? Is
And the
just those?
contrasting.
Uh-huh. There is more? Or
Of course, there are some more ways of contrasting the sentences, the word root, but they are out of use actually. So that's why I didn't choose that chart. This one is one of the most complete ones, showing us the most common ones in the medical terminology. So if I get more, I'm going to show you during the classes at any moment, or maybe in the workshop. But at this moment, those ones are the ones that we are going to use. And starting from this point, we can get more vocabulary to the next classes.
okay.
For example, hypertonic and hypotonic, right? That idea, the opposite situation. For example, if I tell you, you were with hypertension when you came into the hospital, but with the treatment that wasn't the base for you, wasn't the correct one that I was supposed to choose. Now you are with hypotension. You go to the other side of the situation, right?
Okay. And in cause the triglicéridos
that goes up and down, for example, with glycemia.
Okay.
Hyperglycemia in the diabetic, right? And hypoglycemia with a bad treatment when something is not going okay.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay? Now you got the idea about it?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, that's great. Please, Kat, fill the pool, please. I'm sending it now. Yes, fill it, please. Okay. Okay, perfect. This is your assistance. And that's great. So see you tomorrow. And read, study, and if you have more questions, please let me know about them, okay? About homework. Yes.
When is homework?
I'm going to send it, finishing the workshop. I have to finish some activities. And then with those ideas, we are going to work the rest of the week, okay? Homework is one of the most important parts of this course. And of course, it's not going to be as easy as we expect. Yeah. I'm preparing crosswords and scramble words.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
Okay, so see you tomorrow, Kat. Have a nice night. Bye.
See you tomorrow, teacher.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Mario.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm fine. Fine. Nice to see you. How was your shift yesterday?
Yeah.
Everything's okay?
I was quite exhaustive, really.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Shifts are
was
always
okay,
different.
but I was really busy yesterday.
Okay. So
yes.
Did you have the opportunity for checking all the material I sent to the group?
Yeah, I review it. Yeah, and I have some questions about the bones.
Okay.
Like the pronunciation in bones terms.
Bones. Okay, give me a second for sharing my screen. And
don't worry.
okay, we are so close. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, here are my dancers. Let's start with, tell me which one is the slide you are with pronunciation problems, maybe?
Yeah.
The next, or is
With
is
the
that okay?
pronunciation of yeah, this one, the pronunciation of cartilage.
Yes, cartilage.
Cartilage. Okay.
Cartilage.
And it's synovial or synovial?
Synovial.
Okay. Can we see the next one, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, about the roots and the word parts, they are like same in Latin, right?
Yes, most of them are
Okay.
in Latin because English speakers love to take a mess with this kind of terminology.
Yes. Yes. So
Yes.
we pronounce it like we were pronouncing in Latin, right?
In Latin, yes. For example, condro, not chondro, of course, right? Kif, not keep, kif, okay? Kyphosis, for example, not kyphosis, kyphosis. PH always has an F. Scoli, spondyle, synovial, ankle, arthro. Okay, Mario.
That's okay.
Okay, that's okay
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Here I think there's not so much problem instead of vocabulary, right?
Yes, yes. It's like
Yes.
the same as in Spanish, just the
Yes.
terminology.
Of course, the advantage is that we are doctors, and of course we know the meanings. We have that giant idea of what we are talking about. That's why
Yes.
we are going to keep on the idea, I mean, in gaining vocabulary and grammar tips for correct expression and writing down, right?
Yes.
From here, some of them are in Latin again, and then are in English or common English, but that's one of the most common, not the most complete pictures I found.
Yes, I was looking at it, and it has like almost all the structures.
Yeah.
That we
Yes, that's why
see.
I like this, because when I see a simple one, I want to cry, because why I have to waste time with a simple picture? That's not good.
Yes.
For this part, I think everything's okay too, right?
Yes, that chart was really useful.
Yes, it's going to help you a lot, but those ones are the most common ones. If I find more, I'm going to be sending to the group and have the material, because it's important.
Thank you.
About fractures, everything's okay?
Yeah, everything was okay. Just I was looking for the differences between the scalp, I think that was.
Between the
like the fixation.
Okay, the cast and the splint.
Like the cast and the splint.
Yeah. Well, now you are on shift, so I consider you are preparing this material and using it, right?
Yes.
And of course, it's I mean, any doubt about it?
No, I just was well. I didn't know how to say that in English, and that was really useful. Yeah.
Yes, when I saw it, I said I would like to have it when I was in career during my study period, and now I got it. Yeah, I'm going to share it to everybody.
Yeah,
it's important for us to know. About malunion and non-union, maybe that's okay, right?
Yeah, that was okay.
Okay. Yesterday I was asking your classmates to describe some X-rays. Can you describe this? Would you try to make that exercise maybe?
Well, we have in the left one, the left side, we have like a mouth. This was well, we see like it was an old fracture
No,
that is
this is the same one.
already the same one.
Yes, this is the same patient. When
Oh,
brought into the emergency and during the well, by anesthesia, the inductive anesthesia, without feeling pain, we got the type of fracture.
oh,
It's the same one. When you get a patient with this kind of fracture, usually they come walking just with pain, not with a complete or
deformity of
displaced or a displaced fracture. I mean, you have to get in practice and recognize this ring. Can you see my pointer, right?
yes.
Yes, this ring is the key that you have a fracture. And if you check carefully, you have here a soft line, right?
Yes.
Let me get it bigger. When you have this incomplete line and a ring, consider you're in a chopstick fracture. It's very common in osteoporosis cases. And now you are on shift, it's going to be so useful for you. Sometimes we see this and we say, that's an uncommon anatomical reference, right? And we don't take in intention, but patients go home, eat, finish brokening, and they come back with this situation.
Yeah, that's really useful.
Yes, and it's very common in elderly people, so we have to take care on it, okay? For example, you have a patient that is with osteoporosis and starts giving and prescribing calcium and calcium and calcium without controls, without making the correct studies. And you get the bones, of course, so rigid, not elastic structures. And with any hit, they get broken like this, like chalk. It's very common, usually after, I don't know, playing, receiving a paintball or something like that, okay?
Okay.
The same as green stick fracture in teenagers and child. Yes. Maybe, I'm sorry. With these ones, of course, we have the anatomical references. And when if you see one of these, of course, something is wrong because it's the correct position of the picture. But if you don't, you have to check more details, right? Or the comparing two arms, two limbs.
Okay.
Then let me see one more. The stress fracture is again so common, so easy to see in not in elderly one. Just I mean, it's very common in our nurses, for example, nursing team. Just look for the fatty one or the oldest. It's gonna have this kind of situation finishing the shift, maybe if there's no the correct shoe, I mean. So that's an interesting topic. And this one, have you ever seen this? Because it's from newborns.
Like
yes, newborns.
Hip dysplasia.
No, they had fractures.
The upper one.
Yes, the second one too. It's the same patient.
Yes.
Fracture. The most amazing part of these following images is that we are watching the process of healing. And in order their babies, of course, they have more opportunities to have a good remodulation of the bone.
Yes.
So if you get and watch one of these, try to get it at the days that I'm explaining, that you are going to notice the differences. And it's a full way of making it. They don't just go for pain, they go for something extra. In babies, we have to be so carefully by checking, by evaluating, right?
Right.
This one's, my sister had a fracture like this, like these ones. And there is one possibility of this kind of solution, but there's this reduction. We had to use another kind of treatment. And that was okay, but it resulted with loss of taking care. Don't forget reduction, fixation, splint, plate and screws. That's important, okay?
Okay.
The malunion or the non-union as a common complications in these kind of situations. These differences that, of course, it's not a common topic to see, but it's important for us to know. Okay. No, se fue. Well, Mario's connecting signal was too low. So let's wait a minute. I hope okay, Mario, you came back.
Sorry,
No, don't worry. I know your connection was so difficult, right?
Yes.
Okay. For example, the comic part, yeah.
Yeah.
But believe me, it happens. You see anything and you want to cry when you see that kind of situations. More dancers, anatomical landmarks, again, more vocabulary here.
Yeah.
And here, we have too much to practice.
Yeah, I was seeing that we have a lot of vocabulary to review.
Yes, and that's great. We have to take the time for doing it.
Yes.
Well, Mario, I was telling yesterday in class that we are going to start writing clinical reports, right?
Okay.
From this chart, please choose one pathology. Today, so for this opportunity, you're going to choose. The next ones I'm going to send just without asking. Yeah. And choose.
Yes.
Yeah, just one from the whole chart, just one. Hi, Mario.
Do you hear me?
Well, which one? I'm sorry.
I'm going to choose. I think. Okay, osteopenia.
Osteopenia. Okay.
Could you repeat what I have to do with that?
With the chart, okay. With the osteopenia, you are going to make a clinical report. I mean, you can imagine a patient that goes and reports you all the symptoms that he has. And you write down a clinical report explaining all the symptoms. You can write down all of them as a book. That's okay for me. Then you support your diagnosis and then you send me. I'm not asking for treatment. Of course, from this chart, choose one more. And the topics, the lines, the rules of writing this clinical report, I'm going to send you while finishing the workshop, okay?
Okay, perfect.
So the whole group, of course, it's just apart from the homework. I have to finish making the crosswords and scramble words in order to have a correct practice of the vocabulary. Okay.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay, do you have one? Just one more.
Okay. Well, I'll choose myorexis. Myorexis.
Okay, perfect.
So we both, I have to do a clinical report, right?
Yes, two clinical reports, okay? So in order, while finishing, I need time for finishing this, please.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay. Can you see the pool is for assistance?
Okay.
Please fill it. And that's okay.
Perfect, I just fill it.
Excellent, thank you so much. So your partner is not coming. Let's stay practicing, talking. That's okay.
Okay.
I said I'm not going to be in complication if somebody comes late. If comes late, okay, always losing time. Okay, from muscles, any doubt you
Okay.
have? Something you would like to talk about?
Well, actually, I don't have any doubt.
Perfect. Even pronunciation, everything I think it's okay. And these slides were prepared for having an overview of the situation. And then of course, the medical part is for us, we are doctors. So we have the correct vocabulary, right?
Yes, obviously we know what it's about.
Yes, that's important. That's why the course is medical English. Not for our folks, not for being in a easy way. No.
See, yeah, it's for we to like practice and adapt the form of English of our medical words, our medical terms.
Yes, in grammar tips, maybe correct expressions. That's important because it's not the same in Spanish. That's why I have a chart that show how many social terms in medical English are not the correct ones. I'm going to send it for making homework. I think
that's another thing that I was like looking, that we don't say the same in English that we say in Spanish.
Yes.
Or we don't know like the correct terms for presenting a patient or giving a clinical report.
Yes, a medical report. That's why we start making it in order to get this kind of abbreviations of expressions. I mean, always in past, I'm going to check it. In present, there's no sense. Your patient is not in front of you all the time, right? And we have to take it in count. I mean, with symptoms, there is no problem. Just my long charts and lists.
That's really useful.
Yes, giving lots of vocabulary. This is the basic one from the teacher's book I get from the institution. And I said, what? Just this? Those symptoms are not enough. And I've been looking for more interesting material because it's important for us to practice this kind of vocabulary, right?
Yeah, that's a plenty amount of vocabulary we have.
Yes, it's gonna be helpful, so helpful. I mean, I think there's no more questions, right?
There's no more questions.
Okay, when you are on your shifts, I mean, what do you do exactly? You are acting as a doctor, taking decisions by your own, or you have a supervisor?
Well, let's say that I have a supervisor, but like since 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I am by my own.
Okay, that's okay. You have the opportunity. When I was in Cuba, the 6th year, the last one, you were just as a doctor. You have to make all the stuff by your own. And when you had all made, even the treatment, then you go for someone to check it. The resident, the specialist, I don't know. But that's okay. That's great. Then you learn how to take decisions. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, that it's not the same to take the decision and do something that somebody is telling you.
Yes. Here in Bolivia, for example, when I had the students from the last year, I'd like to make them nervous because I was telling you, okay, it's your patients, do it. I'm going to be here just watching. I'm not going to say anything. Do your best. And I said, what? Teacher, you're crazy, doctor. No, I'm not crazy. You have to practice, do it. Lose that fear. You can do it. You have just one step for being a doctor. And of course, you have to practice and take decisions. Learn how to do it. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that change becoming a doctor from a student from a doctor. It's really hard.
Yes.
It's really tough.
Yes, that's true. And for example, if you try to make decisions and you don't have the green light, I mean, could be a trouble in your country.
Well, let's say yes. In our like pre-med life, yes, we have like troubles.
Okay.
With our university, yeah.
Okay. But in the last year in the internship, is the same?
Yes, because in the internship we have like the residents.
And residents are taking care.
Yeah, and we have like more responsibility, but everything is by the supervisor. So
okay, everything is checked.
Yeah, everything has to be checked.
That's great. Here it was depending on the student, yeah, how many confidence I could get on my students. And I said, you can do it. No, you don't, please come with me, sit next to me, and we are going to do it together. Yeah, that's great. No. That's great. That's an interesting topic. So this course is going to be so useful for you. Maybe books in English. Do you have some books?
Yeah, I have some books.
Yes, that's great. So keep on reading. That's all. That's the key for doing everything.
Yeah, I'm reading.
Yes.
Like get used to.
Yes, we choose that kind of life, so there is no other choice. Yeah, no other situation we could support.
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Yes. So I found an application to the cell phone that help us to make crosswords and scramble words. I mean, homework is going to be with that kind of activities, yeah.
That are funny. They are great.
Yes, they're funny, and you practice. And then I found one specific application that I can make a whole list of questions, and depending on the answers, you are getting the key letters. With that key letters, you have to discover the principal message. So if you mess a word, you are not going to get the message. That's why it's important to get the correct vocabulary, or maybe the correct way of expression. When I saw my niece looking for that, I said, send me that application, please.
I need it
to play with it. She's great. She sends me that, and it has the option for creating my own situations, okay, my own questions. And I said, wow, that's the best.
Yeah, that's really good. A really good application for a teacher.
Yes, for teaching. I said that's something different. I mean, something that could help us for working, for practicing, and why not? Well, your classmate didn't come, didn't say anything. That's not for me. Just taking count. Oh, she came just one opportunity, but patience. Maybe something happened.
Yeah, that's.
Well, patience, that's all. Okay, Mario. So let me take a deep breath, a glass of water, and then come back. I have more students waiting for. Okay. Any question you have because you were not in class yesterday, you can send me a message. That's okay. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, practice. And as I was telling you, at the end of the workshop, I'm going to finish the topics of the homework. I'm gonna send it. But you got the
Okay.
idea about writing the clinical report.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, have a nice night. See you tomorrow. Try
Okay.
to be in class. Tomorrow is gonna be a very important class and so long. Respiratory system, cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal
Oh.
system, and if my memory isn't failing, urinary system too. Lots
Okay.
of topics. So try to stay, okay?
Thank you, teacher. Okay, have a nice night.
Okay, you too. Have a nice night. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Well, I have again the absence of Michelin. Well, maybe she's working, maybe said something to the supervisor, but she didn't say anything to me. So I'm going to pass away and continue. Let me take a glass of water. I'm gonna write down a message to Mercedes Joyce. Okay, to Mercedes Joyce. Okay, it's time for her. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait a minute. Okay, give me a second. Sorry, a phone call. It was not supposed to be, but it happens. Okay, let's call Mercedes Joyce. Okay. Good night, Joyce. I don't know what I'm writing down. Okay. Get into the workshop. Please. Can you, my writing is awful. Yeah, of course, I'm again confusing words. No words. You get into the workshop, please. If she doesn't get into, I'm going to close it. Yeah, because I have to respect for Joyce, Bernarda, and Maria Fernanda. Tomorrow, I'm going to change this role because the time, I think it's not able for everybody. Here for Bolivians is too late. And Central American guys is early too. Okay. The next one is Maria Fernanda. get into the workshop. Please. Let's wait 2 minutes more and then I'm going to call the next. Now let's check some messages. I'm finishing. I would like to be in that picture, but I couldn't. It was in the explanation to my society, but I would like to get the nations maybe next year. Okay. The cardio pro, I'm not getting into these classes. Well, there's my Huey. My Huey. Joyce, maybe. I cannot stand for people that is not getting into. I don't mean not because it's none of my function, it's because I'm extremely tired. Today it's so hard day. But let's have enough patience about it. And I think they might come in a minute. Where's my Spotify? I lost my Spotify. Here. Nope, not there. Okay. Let's answer Maria. Student why that's why I was asking. I need to change this schedule, of course. It's not working for me to expect and nobody comes. I mean, nobody comes to this time when I certainly need them to come. Going to what happened? Let's listen to some music. Joyce, what's going on with you, my favorite teacher? I don't know. Certainly, I don't know what I should expect in these situations. Let's play with some music. The ones I like. And then I don't know how I. Okay. Let's start working again, working again, working again. Time. I must also connect. Oh, I'm not sure how. Trust and I'm finding you. Every day for something new. Open mind for a different view. Something else new. Trust me. Nothing else matters. Never care for what they do. Never care for what they know. What okay. Let's class, vale. Give me a second. Okay. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Maria. Yes. Give me a second, please. I just received a message from the student that was supposed to be into the class. Hi, how was your day, Maria?
Really busy.
No, I know it.
So my life's pretty complicated now.
Of course, I understand. But you are here now. We are here for working. I'm sorry for the time. It's late for us. I'm going to change the role because Central America is earlier, so earlier from us.
Yeah,
So it's better
it
for
is.
changing it. So yesterday we were in class together, and well, do you have questions, doubts, something you would like to talk about?
Actually about the homework that was
Okay, the homework we were making, right?
yeah.
Okay, let me check. Let me open it. I have downloaded into my cell phone, not in the computer, so give me a second for doing it. Specifically homework, which questions do you specifically have? I didn't send you the key yet, right?
No, not yet. But here it says anatomical term and common word. I think we had to describe the word in normal words, I think. So for example, here we have Nate. That was my question. I didn't know what to. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. I'm opening the key for checking it. Okay, let me open your answers. Today it's been a hard day for everybody.
Yeah.
A hurtful day, and well, that's a common answer I got. But that's great. Okay, give me a second for sharing the screen, and then we can start. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, here I have your picture. Fitness fit. That's okay. Get sick.
Here I also had questions by complete the conversation. Yes, you can see I can.
Okay, those words were a little confusing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, not very good. Okay. When we say not very good, the expression is about mood, not feelings. I mean, in parts that could be a small detail in that writing. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. And let's go to the key. Here we have. Can you see it, or maybe bigger?
No, it's okay.
Okay. One, well, not very well. Well, it's the correct expression about something that physically is happening. About not very good means about mood, maybe. Like how I feel, well, by feelings specifically, okay? Not by sensations, physical way of feel, okay? How have you been feeling? Unwell, ill, poorly, or sick? That's okay, you already know sick. What is your health like? Okay. The fourth, I'm usually quite fit, quite great, quite okay. But let's check. Right. Quite healthy could be, and fit could be. That's an answer that has sense in that kind of communication. That's okay for me. Do you feel sick? That was the answer. 7, have you actually been feeling sick? Is repeating because we are asking about symptoms. Do you have any serious illnesses? Because we had the difference between illness, disease, and sickness, right? But that's okay if you're writing down disease. For me, there's no problem. But
I didn't write anything.
No, don't worry, that's okay. Because it could be a little bit confusing because we are not used to in that kind of expressions. And for me, there's no problem. If something is without complete, no worry, it happens.
Actually, I also wanted to ask the difference between sick and ill. I mean,
Yeah.
sickness,
illness, and disease. Okay.
Yeah, I think what I understood is that sickness or being sick is more like a feeling.
Yes.
And illness is an actual disease. So illness and disease would be like the same.
Yes, they are very similar, but not the same. For example, when you get an illness, we can call it an acute situation, I mean, for understanding just, that has a treatment, and the treatment gets the complete remission or gets recovered the patient. I mean, a gastroenteritis, for example, a flu, something that with treatment, we can solve it, right? Instead, disease is a situation that has an objective point, and we use lab tests, imaging tests, something like that for getting the correct diagnosis. And fourthly, is made by a physician, by a doctor. Independent on the specialty, or maybe being general practitioner, there is no problem. But it's a professional in health that gets the diagnosis.
Okay.
Yeah. So diseases not always have a cure. They could be chronic, they could be controlled, they could be in remission, but they are not situations that the patient can treat alone. For example, a flu, we can treat alone, right? Just wait the process, the timeline of the infection of the virus, and it's going to pass away alone. So in the most situations, without treatment, without antibiotics, maybe analgesics, and that's all. But for example, the Lyme disease, that's different. With the Lyme disease, you need so much drugs, studies, keep on visiting doctor, right? You got the difference, right?
Yeah.
That's why when you ask about a serious illness or illnesses, you are talking about a situation that maybe you controlled, or maybe have a little bit, little help from a professional health provider. Even because why in the past? Because in the way it's acute, I mean, something that has a cure, that no has too much consequences in our health life, it's not present at its moment. Okay, that was the key. If it's in the past, it's an illness.
Yeah.
If it's present, it's a disease.
Okay.
I'm talking about that way, the sleeping illness or disease, getting out the difference.
The cause of sleeping. I think illness, because it's
okay. Illness could be for the correct way of thinking. Sickness or disease, why not? Disease, of course, because what?
Disease because
even for getting this diagnosis, we make electroencephalogram, sleeping tests, and many things, right? Yeah. And why not sickness?
Sickness because we said it's like more like a feeling, right? What
feelings
the patient would describe.
Yes, something that the patient just feel, and there is no reason for doing something extra, right? Yeah. Is that okay? The sleeping sickness is a disease, but sleeping sickness is the expression, the correct expression.
Oh, okay. So here it would be sickness.
Yes, it's sickness. Actually, it's sickness.
Okay.
Okay. Then for remission, right, I have good health, yes. It was month before I got over red. I'm healthy, perfect, the rest is okay. Body parts, oh, perfect, you're writing down, perfect.
Yeah. It's
I
gonna be
like
hard to learn all of it.
Don't worry, your handwriting is better than mine. My handwriting is awful. Nobody can read it instead of me or many of my friends. My nurses used to suffer with that and told me, doctor, please print everything. Don't use handwriting. And I said, okay, I have to make the effort. That's
Yeah, no,
perfect
I
because the objective of this chart was writing down, not copy and paste, of course. Okay, let's go to this one. Abdomen, stomach, perfect. Axilla, armpit, carpus, breast, coxa, hip, cavitas, elbow, mama, breast, perfect. Patella, knee. The nates is the buttock.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The anatomical term nates for the England correct way. Americans use nates, but not in a common situation. I mean, maybe an old colleague could use that word. And the command, the buttock and the booty, that's okay.
Yeah, those two bubbles were
the bubbles. And the tends across my chest and goes up into my neck, perfect, and to my arm and into my hand. Okay, I'm going to check with the key. Renal colic. It starts at the loin, okay, and into, and that's in blacken. Okay, let's go to the key. Where is the key? Okay. That kind of programs just made me confused. Okay, here we have, for the first bubble, the first line, okay? Male patient, discrimination in the pectoris, I like to stress my chest, perfect, and goes up into my neck or jaw, perfect. And into my left shoulder, that's okay, and down to my arm. This is the key, but your answer also has a sense when a patient is talking to us as a doctors. For me, your answer is okay, don't worry.
Okay.
And the key is so close, just for me, that's okay. And let me describe renal colic. It starts in the loin and goes into the groin and down into the testicle. The groin? Okay, let me show you because, do you see this line?
Yes.
This is the groin. Okay, ingen or groin. Specifically, a renal colic starts at this line in male patients, right?
Yeah.
Maybe by just in the middle like this line, but it usually starts on the line. In females, it could start into the vagina and even on the line.
Okay.
And then goes down to the testicle. Okay, this one, that was not full complete, but there's no problem for me. The leveling, I'm going to check it, and let's go to your answers. Thyroid, okay. Thyroid or thyroid gland?
Okay.
The thyroid gland or the thyroid just? That's okay. It was easy. Liver, spleen, stomach, gallbladder, large intestines, perfect. Do you remember the meaning of the synonym of intestine?
No.
No. Okay, we have one of the most important synonyms, that is bowel. Okay, intestine or bowel. Remember the bowel movement while talking about the movement of the intestine. The bowel movement is the correct expression. And it's the same if you write down large intestine or large bowel, or small intestine or small bowel, okay? The ligament. Okay, this is not the proper ligament. Maybe the line was not in a good place, but it's not the proper ligament, the proper ovarian ligament. It was the uterus, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I copied from one of the pictures that was
Yes.
in that presentation. So I was like, I think that's it.
Yeah, don't worry, that's okay. Most of your friends write down the same proper ovarian ligament, and I said, well, the idea was the uterus. I'm sorry, but that's okay. That's great. For me, it's okay. The idea is that you practice anatomical terms, okay? Okay. Ambulance worker. Nope. Artificial lens, yes. Artificial limb could be, but could be. Artificial limb is a prosthesis, right? But that's okay. Club worker, no. Club therapist, no. Contact lens. Well, we have this match words. Of course, if we fail one, we fail twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the combinations for the topic of the class, most of them are not correct.
Okay.
But you got the idea. In order to be creative, I'm going to take in count the ones that are okay. But even, for example, in the 7th, you don't have the correct match, I mean. Social worker, for example, is a profession, and there is no social worker any place. Yeah, this I need to consider it as a mistake, okay? Going to the key, that was the combination I was expecting for. The ambulance technician, artificial limb, club foot. That's a situation in food in babies that we notice during the birth. Contact lens, health professional, blood pressure, occupational therapy, social worker. Finishing the workshop, I'm going to send you the key for checking these details, okay?
Okay.
Today I'm not going to pass more time. Area of the hospital, perfect. Depending on the procedure you're going to have, could be you may need to some labs, perfect. To the department, perfect. Will be referred, perfect. Professionals. Okay, when you are appointment for, if you need to be admitted, okay, for a treatment, either was inpatient for surgery, okay. We don't have, okay, we will discharge. Okay. Let's go to the checks. Most of them are okay, are great. Let's go to the key. Number 1, clinic or hospital, that's okay. Some labs, tests, studies, that's okay. The number 3, the number 2, treatment. It depends on the treatment. You said diagnosis, a procedure. Could be procedure because treatment is something that is always in movement, I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be procedure, but treatment, it's because here you have the key about the answer. A diagnosis, for example, diagnosis, do you have a diagnosis or do you get a diagnosis?
You get one. Or you
get. You get, right? No have, because I'm not giving you a diagnosis like an object. It's an idea that I'm transmitting to you. That's why you get a diagnosis. Do you have a procedure or do you receive a procedure?
You receive one.
You receive, because someone else is going to make something into you or with you, right? You are not going to be by your own. Someone is going to be to help you into a procedure. That's why procedure could be, but in the way you were writing down, but the answer was treatment, because you have a treatment. You can see the fluids, medication, everything that somebody's going to start in you and then goes away, right? But procedure could be The 4 departments referred perfect. 6 admitted perfect. The day surgery, I mean, day surgery as a compound expression is explaining us the situation when you go get your surgery in the morning and afternoon go home, you are discharged home. Something that you don't have to stay. That's expression in England. And for me, it's okay if you writing down it. But I have friends, I have classmates that were writing down your program surgery for home surgery, and that's okay too. So for me, that's okay. If it's in blank, there's no problem for me, okay? And let's go to the last one. Running clinic for pregnant women. When we're talking about the allied health professions, I mean, we were checking all of these, not doctors.
Gynecologist, for example.
Yes. Here in Bolivia, we talk as specialists, right? But gynecologist is a doctor. In the class, we were noticing that not always a doctor attends this situation. For example, pregnant women are attended by midwives. I mean, that nurses that get into the gynecological and, I mean, the pregnancy process and the childbirth and the delivery in the past were called comadronas. Now are midwives.
Yeah.
So taking that context, the key says midwife. But for me, is that okay if you say gynecologist, physician, the emergency doctor, the EMT? For me, that's okay, the answer, even if the answer has a sense. The dean of the hospital could be, but the dean is not going to run with the patient. The dean is going to say, okay, go ahead and don't.
Oh, I thought it was more like managing. That's what I thought when I read running.
Okay. It's on your experience. Okay, could be. Okay, teaching patient how to strengthen his broken occupational therapist. Okay, we have a difference that we were checking into the class. The physiotherapist and the occupational therapist, right? The occupational therapist gets into that kind of pathologies that have a very high consequences in continuous life that are evolved into the situations that need rehabilitation and get the patient to gain some more capabilities. I mean, autism, Down syndrome. I mean, when you had an accident and lose your leg, you cannot walk, but you need an occupational therapist in order to know how to work or to move with the artificial limb, okay, with the prosthesis.
Yeah.
But the physiotherapist helps you to and teach you to recover that strength and walk as normally as in the past, as before the broken leg. Broken leg is not a disability, I mean.
Yeah.
That's why physiotherapist is the answer. No, occupational therapist is for disabilities specifically. Here in Bolivia, of course, our physios made all of the work. They have this class, but in other countries like England, USA, they have this difference well done, I mean, right?
Yeah.
Well, letting the GP know a patient. Yes, could be a nurse because our nurses here make this activity too, but also could be a receptionist or the ward clerk. The ward clerk is a specific person that is into the shift just for taking notes, answering the phone, taking general data, not giving a diagnosis. Okay. It's especially in England to have the ward clerk. That was okay. Ward clerk, receptionist, and here in Bolivia, the nurse. Nurses make everything.
Yeah.
Running clinic for people who want to lose weight. Which one do you think could be? Maybe nutrition, your friend says.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Nutrition.
Yes, the best is nutrition, but remember we are talking about allied health professions, right? In the class, we were talking about the practice nurse. That is one that is into study time, her preparation time. And one of the activities is education. And this what she makes education for losing weight, because it's okay to lose weight. Who doesn't want to lose some extra pounds, right?
Right.
The visiting the social worker, well, visiting a patient who has just returned after a hernia operation. A hernia operation is gonna be attended by a social worker.
I didn't know what to write, so I was like,
okay.
I read home. I was like, maybe someone goes
that's
there.
okay. Maybe the situation is going to be organized by the social worker, but in another system, healthcare systems, doctors don't go home after a surgery that is without complications. The personnel that goes are nurses. And the one is the district nurse.
No, right?
No, social worker is not the answer, the district nurse. The district nurse is that one who goes home, cleans up the wound, changes bandages, changes everything, and gets sure that there's no complication after the surgical procedure, okay?
Okay.
Carrying out checkups on children or poor neighborhoods. Social worker, they are not going to take the weight and height, right? They'll just treat social critical situations in order to correct them or to make a correct intervention and try to help and solve the problem. But they're not going to check up children. That action is made by the health visitor. That is a specific nurse, again a nurse, that goes home by home, completing the vaccination program, checking children in order to avoid the unnecessary visits to hospitals, maybe. Again, it's our first allies are nurses. And nurses in other countries, because of their kind of health systems are in that organization way, they can respond with these activities. Here in Bolivia, of course, we have nurses that go home with their cage, with eyes, and asking for vaccination. But it's not the correct health visitor. Health visitors takes control, even for people that cannot go to the hospital for controlling tests or something like that. They go check that everything is okay. If they find a problem, a trouble, a new situation in health, they call the doctor and said, okay, my GP, I'm sending you a patient with this new situation, please take in count, and that's all. And organizing cover for an absent doctor could be attending physician, that's okay for me. The attending physician, for the key is the practice manager. The practice manager is that doctor that has no contact with patients, just organization. That's okay. Could be called also locus. The locus one is the one to get and fills these situations. Okay, for me it's okay. Your homework, now is checked, and that's okay for me.
Okay, teacher. I think
everything's okay until now. Okay, from the yesterday class, something that you would like to ask for, something, a specific topic?
No, not really.
Okay, try to check the slides, the vocabulary specifically.
Yeah.
And there's no problem, I think, because it was clear. I need you, please, let me share again the screen. I need you to choose 2 pathologies, please. From bones, from skeletal system. in order to start sending homework. Please choose one, just one from this chart. Is that okay if you want to repeat one with your classmates? Of course, you are not going to write down the same paragraph, the same clinical report.
From bones, did you say, or any of?
From everything. Any one of the charts, that's okay for me. Joints, bones, I don't know, fractures.
I think I'm gonna do
tumors.
fat embolus.
Perfect, fat embolus. That's okay. And choose one more from this other chart from the muscles. From one of these pathologies, choose one more, please.
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
Chronic fatigue syndrome, yes, with Catherine. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to send the topics and the rules of this clinical report and some other exercises when I finish preparing them, please. I hope I can finish tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay, when do I have to send it to you?
Saturday night, but if I take more time than that I expect, of course, I'm going to change the deadline.
Okay. Yeah.
Lots of vocabulary.
A lot.
Well,
Yeah.
patience. Yes,
Yeah.
so large things to study. Please, in order to get your assistance, can you fill the pool, please?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect, Maria, that's all. Tomorrow you are going to stay in class, right? You're going to get into the class.
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow we are going to check respiratory system, cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal system, and urinary system, if my memory is okay. We have lots of material to check. So it's, yeah, so it's important. I'm trying to resume in around 2 hours and taking the class. Almost 2 years of career. It's a lot of material. So we
Yeah.
have to try to get the quantity of vocabulary we need. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, teacher.
Okay, so have a nice night. I'm
You
gonna
too.
ask for changing this schedule and well, patience.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's okay. Like the time for me is okay because I have classes until 9 sometimes, so it works.
Okay. Okay, because I was thinking on you and Bernarda because you are the last ones. And I don't think it's correct to make you expect. Maybe you have a free time night.
Yeah.
And start to expect until this time. I don't know. But if that's okay for you, maybe we don't change it because we have
I
three,
mean,
4 workshops done.
Yeah, in
It's
case
okay for you.
I had, I don't know, something to do, I would let you know and we could like fix it for that day only, but I have no problems.
That's perfect. Yeah. That's great for me.
Okay.
Okay, Maria. So see you tomorrow. Have a nice rest. Have a nice night.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Bye. ¿Dónde está mi documento de Word? Ya, María no ha entrado. Me cago. Debemos en Joyce. Let's go into the shop. Right. Bernardo ya quemó su tiempo. No vino. Hi Joyce, how are you?
Hello, sorry, give me a second. There are many things on screen. Many.
No, don't worry. I can expect. So we are the last ones. The classmate that was supposed to be before you didn't come, and I was checking homework from the one that was in time, and so that's okay for me.
Okay, I'm
So
really
don't
sorry.
worry. We have
I don't know what happened. I was just waiting and I realized I was not receiving any messages. So I checked the internet, there was no internet. And when I checked it, I realized I was like late already.
No, don't worry. I'm here. I didn't forget you. Yesterday I was missing you. It's strange for me not to get you into the class.
You know what happened? I honestly, I totally forgot because I think after I got like, I think I got COVID like 2 months ago, but I totally forget things now. And yesterday I forgot about everything. And when I was cooking, I was working, I did homework with my kids, and I said, okay, we need to buy some stuff for school. And then I realized, today is Monday. I have something to do on Monday. I was like, what time is it? 9.
What was the topic for today?
Yeah.
It usually happens. Don't worry. That's okay.
I don't know what happened. I usually have good memory, but I don't know what happened now.
Yeah, don't worry. It usually happens when you have a stressful day.
That probably was that.
Even if you have kids, it's difficult. It's harder. I understand you completely. I have 3, one teenager and 2 babies. So it's
2 babies. It's a craziness. You can't do anything. Your head is, and with work and stuff, it's a lot.
Yes.
I can't with 2 babies. I don't want no more babies.
Yes. Well, that's great. Patience, that's all. And patience always. We need more and more and more.
A lot every day. We need to pray.
Yes.
To get more patience.
Well, I sent the slides yesterday night. Can you check it? Did you have the time?
Yeah.
Because it's a long presentation.
I finished reading them because there were so many new words that I didn't know. By having them as the root of the word in some other suffixes helps a lot to understand them better.
Perfect.
So I think there was no problem except with, I heard sometimes that splint was used almost the same as, what was the other name?
Cast.
Yes. So, and I didn't know they were different.
Yes, of course they are different in the use, but the objective is the same. Of course, that piece, that specific device has specifications in use. Not every fracture can be solved or can be fixed by splints, and not all situations need a cast. That's important difference we have to understand, because in the way we study medicine and a doctor, it's supposed to know the difference in use. It not always happens. I'm telling you by my experience, and it's not the way. A splint, it's not a permanent device. You can change it, you can put it, and you can remove a strap and bandage, and then you can readjust. But a cast, of course not. I have some pictures there. Okay, there's the splint is like this. When you have straps for moving, for resting from the piece, because it's not a comfortable position. It's the anatomical way, yes. You need that position for getting it in, for recovery from the situation, yes. But it's so hard to stay in just one position all the time. That's why you can remove it, get a little movement without causing more damage, and then you have to put it again. With a cast, we don't have that possibility because it's a complete piece that if you take it out, it loses its pressure, its form, its I don't know, its size, and it doesn't work for anything. It has to be dropped away, and you need to make a new one.
Okay, this is the hard one, right?
The hardest, yes.
Okay.
That we make with calcium, with yeso. I don't know how to say yeso. That's a good point. Yes, I don't know. Now I'm noticing that. But usually splints are made with resistant material that if you wash it. In emergency room, we use lots of splints because they are just for a little time. For example, if I get an accident, in that accident I have a hip fracture, I use a huge splint for getting into position until going to the surgical room. And that's okay.
Okay.
Hi, Joyce.
Hello. I don't know if it's my internet connection or if it's yours.
Maybe mine, because at this time my sister is working too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what you
Could
said.
be because we are here at least 3 computers working at the same time.
Yeah, it gets hard. I just look for it. It's plaster. Yes, so it's plaster. The word that we use here in Bolivia.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
I knew the word, but
Okay,
I
thank you.
couldn't read it.
Cast is made by plaster. No, thank you so much, because now I realize I didn't know how to say yes, but plaster, that's the word. I'm not going to forget it.
We don't use it anymore.
It's not a common word.
That's it.
And I said cast, material of cast, plaster, that's okay.
It would be a great
cast,
thing.
Yes, a cast is not, could be full or could be just one side, but the splint, the principal characteristic of the splint is that can be removed. The cast cannot be removed. You move it, you take it away, it doesn't work for anything. Just I don't know, get it as garbage and make a new one. That's the best.
Okay, I think I'm familiar with that one now because my daughter got one some months ago. So now I am aware of that.
Okay, perfect. Even while talking to your classmates, most of them didn't know the difference. And I said, okay, now you know, you have the the picture.
Yeah.
So because
yes.
while studying, while studying medicine, we have some ideas like in that, of course you must know. That's why we don't teach you. And well, it happens. Just for supporting this charge, that's okay. I saw this kind of situations, that kind of immobilizations, and I said, why me? Why a leg? It usually happens, believe me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other question maybe?
Which one else? No, I think it was only those two. Because I only heard the word splint, but not actually cast. And that was then. I checked what?
There's kinds of joints, articulations, the differences. This pathology of skeletal systems, I'm sorry. Of course, they are, well, the correct way of writing down is here, but the homework I've been asking for your classmates is writing a clinical report. If you want, we can make it for practicing and getting the correct way of expressions and using abbreviations. That's why I was asking your friends. And I told them that choose one specific situation. And they must imagine they receive a patient, receive all the complaints, and make the clinical report about the complaints and the clinical findings.
Okay.
Of course, the topics, the the topics of this homework. I'm going to send you like the other one by the WhatsApp group, and then you could have an idea.
Okay. Like I saw what you were saying here, but I can't find it. Do you want us to write it as a conversation or as if we were just reporting the symptoms and
For
everything?
making it easier, you can imagine a conversation by yourself.
Okay.
And then you just send me the clinical report.
Okay.
For
yeah,
example, we
one.
have a classmate that is asking for making conversations as if he is the doctor and I'm the patient, and then we change the rules, the roles, I mean. And that's the way she wants to practice into the workshop. And that's okay for me. There's no problem. It's easier.
Yeah, it
but
is.
that's a yeah, it's easy. That's okay. He wants to practice his pronunciation, his expression, because he tells me that he's afraid of talking in English. He doesn't feel enough confidence.
Yeah.
And I said, "What? But you're great." Yeah, I understood. I can advise you, if you consider it's okay, to make an easy situation. For example, bursitis is an easy situation, it's very common, and it's that pain while movement, joints, specifically shoulder, that is the most common, or maybe the knee. Those ones are the most common bursitis situation. The shoulder is the easiest one in our country.
Okay.
Another one. That's that's why I was asking you, in order that you are an English teacher, an English professor, it's gonna be harder, I was telling you, because we are getting into the medical topics. And this part I'm not explaining by detail, I mean, because they were supposed to know it. And of course, if there is something they want to check again, we can do it. Okay, could we start, okay, bursitis, or do you want to try someone else? Because I can send you some information for making it in a correct expression way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's up to you. I can do that one.
Or maybe you would like to choose another one. That's okay for me.
No, for me too. No problem about it. Like, can be bursitis.
Okay, bursitis. And about muscles, I think there is no problem, right?
Nope.
I mean, just lots of vocabulary. And from here we have the same situation, choosing one topic for writing the clinical report.
Okay.
Here, a very common one is rotator cuff injuries, from our elbow lesions and shoulder lesions too. Tendinitis is very common.
Okay.
I don't know, if you want to choose, that's okay for me, or maybe I can advise you tendinitis, like Johan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier for me because I also heard about it.
Yes, it's easier. It's very common. So this one is closely related to the bursitis. So it's going to be very similar, writing down about them, or maybe the two topics, and that's okay for me.
Okay. I'm going to
about signs. I was telling classmates, all the class yesterday, and we are going to be watching them calmly during the workshop, taking points of view from the homework. I mean, this homework is going to help us to get the idea how a clinical report must be used, using abbreviations and the correct grammar expressions. And of course, in the clinical evaluation, we have to write down the signs. In the first part of the clinical report, we write down all the complaints. Then we have the clinical evaluation, clinical examination, and we write down all the signs, all the findings. And with that findings and the complaints, we can make the diagnosis, and that's all.
Okay. Are you going to send those steps, or
I can send it to you because you are not a doctor.
No, I'm not. So I
Yes.
have no idea.
In order to help you for making it in a correct way, I can send it just for you, not for your classmates, because they are doctors. They must know. If they don't know, I can kill them because it's the basic ways that for working. But that's the difference with you. I need to, I don't want to be, I don't want to make a mistake with you, okay? I don't want to evaluate you in a way that you are not prepared for it. We have to be sincere about it. And you're so brave for being in this class. Now it's easy.
Well,
no.
yeah, as I told you before, I was like an interpreter for some time.
Yes.
So I'm kind of familiar with some things, but not with everything. So I know a lot about eyes, for example.
Yeah.
Sight, yes.
Yes. For example, tomorrow we are going to talk about respiratory system, cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal system, urinary system. If my memory isn't failed, I don't remember if we have some more systems tomorrow. I'm trying to resume 2 years from the career in hour and a half in a presentation. It's going to be long. That's why I don't want to make any mistake, because it's important to get a correct vocabulary and expressions, correct way of expressing these ideas.
Okay.
Most of your classmates were in this workshop, and we were practicing these unusual plural and singular forms, right? Those changes are so important. That's why in the United States, for example, for these grammar specific topics, we cannot get into the residency, because we make grammar mistakes. And if they think if they cannot write in a correct way, they cannot be a correct doctor. So get away. It's not okay. It's a terrible situation.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about this one, because I didn't see this chart in the presentation, but I'm going to look for it. Because as far as I know,
but it's here.
We make these changes, but I didn't know if it works with cranium, if the plural would be cranium.
Yes.
Something. Yes?
Yes, it depends on the suffix, I mean. Here you have the um for making a noun. That cavity where inside is the brain. It's a noun, right? But you get cranial, when you go to cranial, you have another suffix. For example, al is here, pertaining to something that belongs to the cranium. That's the key for having the correct idea on what we are talking about. And these charts are so useful, I think.
Yes.
Having these ideas about the endings, about the suffixes. These ones, for example, always the double R with situation, specific ones that are not going to change. Procedures, of course, depending on the prefix, we have what kind of procedure is this. And pathologies, it's common, it's the same as Spanish. Just translation, we have the meaning, and we have the example. This key is one of the that I like the most, because it helps us a lot for understanding what we are talking about.
Yeah.
Americans are the ones that the best ones for making awful jokes with these situations, with these grammar topics. And that's why I said I know that most of your classmates want to go to United States, other ones to England, and I think that would be better if they go with an idea what they are going to find there, and don't be the focus of jokes, right?
Yes, actually, yes. Yeah, but because most of the words in Spanish are difficult about medicine, and in English, I think it got worse.
Yes, because in English they combine Latin
Mhm.
and suffixes, and
Yes.
they run crazy. Why combine a dead language?
Yeah,
So I
actually, yes,
said,
it is difficult.
yes, and I said, okay, do it in Latin. I'm going to continue in the English way.
It
Okay,
is. It is
maybe
hard.
another question, Joyce.
No, that's it. I think you're exhausted, and it was a long day for you too.
Yeah,
Those
that's
were the only questions that I had because we studied this in English, so now that is applied also in other areas. So it's not
yes,
so hard to understand for me actually. It is a
yes,
lot to memorize, but not hard to understand.
yes. I mean, I'm preparing crosswords and scramble words for making homework funny. And I think it's going to be different than writing or filling conversation. And that's a classic way. I don't like it. I don't like it. So let's make a difference, right?
I used an app to do that.
Okay.
It's called Wordwall.
Wordwall. Okay.
Because
Can you please send me the link?
Yes, sure. You can create games.
Oh,
I
perfect.
think they have 3 free versions to create games, or if you want to do more, I think you have to pay, but it's very like low. But the other 3 games are good.
Oh, perfect.
So, and you can save them for later.
Oh, perfect. Please send me the link. I have another ones, but not in the same way you are explaining to me.
I'm going to send you this one. This one. Also, you can look, for example, any topic related to medicine or any topic on Google. You can, I don't know, like medicine vocabulary on Wordwall, and you're going to have all the games related to that topic.
Perfect. It's going
And
to
you
be
can
so
also
helpful.
create your own.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You're helping me a lot for making something funny and not stressful homework.
Yeah, I know a lot of apps, but that's the one that I use the most. So I think it can be helpful for you.
Okay, please, thank you so much.
I also like worksheets.
Okay, yeah, I got a book for studying medical English, just worksheets and vocabulary for relating terms. And when I saw that, I said, no, it's too complicated. Instead, for me, let's go to another one because there's another way of expressions. And I said, okay, we are going to use in the model 2. Yeah. Now it's not a good idea.
Yes, it is hard. I don't know. Okay, I send you both links.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joyce.
Both two are very useful, and both are easy to use also.
Perfect. Please, I'm going to, well, I'm relaunching the pool.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, please fill it in order to get your assistance. And that's great.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, don't worry. I'm glad to see you today, and tomorrow have a long-term class.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. Have a nice evening.
Okay, have a nice night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I finished. Everything's out. I'm going sleeping now until I have to go working.